And we are live once again on Paramotor Crazy channel tonight. And I've got my friend Dave Ruff with me. He's going to be hanging out with me. We're going to be talking about just things that have been going on this week in the paramotor world, because there's been so much going on in the paramotor world, hasn't there, Dave?
Man, lots of stuff.
My goodness.
I can't believe the fly-in's over. They
I
went way too
know.
fast.
It's like I want to go back
Yeah.
just to
Actually,
hang out. I don't even need to fly.
I only flew twice. And actually, my first flight, I got audio. My second flight, my long cross country, no audio.
No way.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Nothing.
You got competition.
Who do we got?
Kylo.
Oh, Kyle O just went live.
Ah, for
Well, there's a watch party. I don't know what that means, but
That's funny.
are you serious?
Yeah, he's live too. At least I think he is.
you all got to merge.
Nah.
You know what?
Good.
I'm texting him right.
Good timing.
I'm
Thanks,
gonna-
Sarah.
Let's see. Hey, are you live?
That's hysterical.
Like, we're live. Get off the channel.
It's not even fair.
Oh, yeah. The first time he ever logged into Zoom a couple days ago, he had 100 watchers right off the bat on a 2.5-hour
I
cap.
know. It wasn't that crazy. So, like, I was about to go into an appointment. He logged in just before 10 o'clock. So I was like watching for like 2-3 minutes. Then I was done with my appointment. Then I went to lunch with my boss, and I get out about, what is it, 2.5 hours later, and I see you and Kevin on. I'm like, what the hell? He was like hawking up along when he first started. And then he was kind enough to send me an invite. What's up, Josh? Josh Perry's watching with us tonight.
Yeah,
Hey, Josh, you're not supposed to know this, but Kyle O is apparently live at the same time. No, stay with us.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he is. He got my message. He read it, so I don't.
It was a watch party.
Oh, it's a
What's
watch
the watch
party?
party? What
Yeah,
is a
I'm
watch
not sure
party?
what it is, but I've seen them.
Yeah,
I've
I'm-
seen notifications for them, but I've never tuned into one.
Yeah, I don't know what one is.
So
I know
we're
I
talking
was
about.
flying with him earlier about 2-3 hours ago, and he said that they were going to go to some party. So
Oh,
I have no idea. Oh,
I can
well.
see him like walking around a party. Everybody's trying to be, having fun, and he's like sticking a camera in everybody's face.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're on YouTube.
That would be typical. That would be typical. Well, I might as well pull comments up.
So tell us about today flying.
So I went flying with Kyle O.
Dave.
Yeah, he's a distant neighbor of mine. And he said he was going to go flying today, so we got together, went flying, did a little bit of thermal practice. Time like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Thermals were real buoyant. They weren't real organized, or they weren't real strong. They were very, very organized. They just weren't real strong. Got up there in the thermals, playing with that Colorado, had a ball with it. He was on his Xeno, kicking my ass.
Okay.
And came back down, probably about 40-minute flight somewhere in there. He actually landed out. It was actually pretty interesting. So we were flying around, and all of a sudden I start seeing him get lower and lower and lower, and he lands out in a field. And I'm like, okay. So I come buzzing by, and I was just fixing to land. I was probably about 2 or 3 feet off the ground and powered back up and went by, because I figured, he'd either wave at me or, something. Anyway, what happened was he was up there thermal and having a grand old time, couldn't get his motor restarted. So he had to land to start his motor, and took back off. And we went back, landed. He had a student that has never flown, and then another student that has flown a few times. I'm unclear how many times, but he's soloed. And so we ended up going up again. The guy that had soloed just wasn't feeling it, didn't want to go, but the guy that's never flown went up on a tandem with Kyle. So we went up, and I was off his wingtip. We flew out of the airport, went over pretty close to his house, and then came back. I was flying wingman. Did my first, it was almost nose down spiral on my Colorado on purpose. Yeah. It was, man, that thing accelerates quick.
Have you ever done that before?
No, well, never on purpose. I've done one nose down spiral on my Buzz Z5. I got kicked out of a thermal and went nose down for a full rotation. Scared the ever loving hell out of me.
Wow.
But this one was planned. I started doing, some light wing overs, sort of building them up, and then finally said, you know what, screw it, here we go, and got that wing to where it started to come down, into a nose, and just rode it out about a 3/4 to a full rotation.
What was your altitude?
1500, 1400.
Ooh, okay.
There.
All right.
So, enough to do a full rotation. If I got into trouble, probably, a couple seconds to make a decision. And then did a couple just real light wing overs and stuff like that, and landed. First flight was about 40 minutes. Second flight was about 30 minutes. Got real cold. I actually wore my balaclava for the first time this season, and my gloves, but still, 50 degrees is cold. So. Hey, you freeze up?
Yeah, I'm going in and out. Can you hear me okay right now?
Yep, I can hear you fine now.
All right. Yeah, I think it's like every little thing on the internet right now is messing me up. I was just reading a message here from Mr. Greg Anthony Harris. So he's going to come on the show on the 24th. Hopefully, we were joking around. I was talking to him and I said, you've got one of the greatest paramotor channels out there and you've never even flown. Let's see how long you can make this go on before someone realizes you've never flown and you've been like making paramotor videos for 3 years.
Man, I really enjoy his videos.
Did you see today's? Did you have a chance? I know you've been busy.
No, I haven't. I haven't caught up on my stuff yet, but I'm going to after we get done doing the live for sure.
He and Cynthia are both watching. She's hysterical. She starts telling jokes. By the way, Cynthia, I told my girls your jokes tonight. They were all busting up laughing. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to go watch the video to see it. She's great. So Kyle was, you said he was flying and he couldn't get his motor started. So 2 questions. One is, what motor was he flying? 2, what do you think is the average amount of time a motor can be off before you can't start it back while you're in flight, typically?
Well, the first one was his Atom 80 on his Mavic frame. He said that he couldn't get the momentum on it because it was cold. He was going up, shutting it off, thermaling up, and when he get low, he'd just go for a restart. And he had restarted once or twice before. It's just this time the motor got cold. Probably 50, 52 degrees on the ground, but we were getting up to about 1,300 to 1,500 feet, and it was cold up there. I'm not sure on the time as far as for a motor to cool off like that. I mean, I know with my electric start, I can just fire right up. I would imagine that it probably wouldn't take too long when it's 50 degrees. I think you froze up on me, or you that, or I did. Uh-oh. Oh, nope. I'm sorry. It was his Moster 185. My mistake. I thought it was his Atom. So it looks like Dave froze, and I may end up taking over the. Yep, there we go. So he's going to log back in. So actually, Kyle, since you're in the chat, what do you think the average time is that a motor can be off while you're flying it in temperatures like we were flying today before it starts becoming a bear to start? I mean, that's a good question. I don't have any statistics or any real knowledge of that because I very rarely shut my motor off. I have before, and if I don't have to, I don't like to. Let's see here. D. Thomas says hard to choking flight. Yeah, I imagine it'd be pretty tough. I know that my 250 Polini would probably, it would be impossible to choke that thing in flight. Let's see here. Slow Day says it's 6,000 feet. His Moster did the same thing. Okay. Yeah, Kyle's saying about 15 minutes when it gets all the way cold, 15 minutes. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, Kyle. I mean, I didn't have a temp gauge up there, but I'd imagine where we were at 1,500 feet, It had to have been in the 40s pretty easily. I know that last flight coming back, when we rounded by your house and started coming back, I was starting to get real chilled, and I was pushing 1500, 1600, and it felt like it was every bit of the 40s up there. It was pretty cold, but man, it was smooth. Oh, well, good flight. All right, Derek Travis, my training starts in 7 days. That is awesome, dude. Keep us informed of how your training's doing. That's always exciting to see new pilots. That's actually one to do, is to go watch new pilots fly for the first time and train and stuff. So I get the privilege to see it again. Miss Sarah over here. Say hi.
Hi.
There she is. Just got her new wing. It's sitting over here on my left-hand side. She got a Dudek 1.1, 25.5 in fire color. It took everything in me today not to unbox that sucker and go take it for a flight, but I'm gonna go fly it tomorrow. I'm heading back to Louisiana tomorrow. We're gonna go do some fly. Sounds good to me. Kyle says tomorrow looks badass. Rest up. We midday flying again tomorrow. Yeah, Kyle, I'm gonna plan on being out there sometime around 1-2 o'clock. I had an electrical issue with my nitro tonight. I don't know if you had heard that, but I think what's happening, it happened in about 26 hours, and I had to get a new harness for it, and it's starting to happen again. And I think, hey, Dave, and I think what's happening is the wires are work hardening. The vibration of the engine and the copper is work hardening, and they're starting to separate. So I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow, go down and get myself some wires, some connectors, and some solder and stuff. I'm just gonna make up a new wiring harness for it. So I'm gonna plan on being out there sometime around 1-2 o'clock, Gillum. Actually, I get a chance, I'm gonna go land on that island. I wanted to do that a couple months ago.
So I think I just lost all internet in the house. So right now I'm on my phone, and once this thing gets back up, I'll switch back over.
Sweet.
Might have just started working now, so sorry about that. Thanks for covering.
Oh no, you're fine. Are you kidding? I'm used to it with you guys.
I know. So, by the way, I am wearing my brand new. I just got this like 2 hours ago in the mail. My new Paramotor podcast, Anthony's sweatshirt. I'm gonna wear this again tomorrow night as well. So don't think I'm wearing like the same clothes 2 times in a row. I just want to support Anthony and wear that. And what were you wearing? You were wearing a shirt a few moments. Are you still wearing a shirt?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Risky Biscuits.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and it's even autographed.
Who autographed it?
This guy named Tucker Gott, he's an upcoming in the Paramotor community. Guys, if you haven't heard about Tucker Gott, you might want to go over to his channel and throw him a subscribe. You know, he's looking for subscribers. Young kid, decent pilot. You know, we're expecting some good things from him, so we'll see what he does. No, he was a fun.
Log back to the computer here. 896. I apologize, guys. I'm so disorganized and unprofessional right now in this, and I apologize about that. Thank God I have you. All right, I think I'm in now. I'm coming back in on the computer. Let's see if this works. If it does, I'm gonna bounce out of this one. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Hey, we got 2 Dave Wolfs.
It's so weird. It's like your worst nightmare, dude.
It's like I'm at the fly-in all over again.
Look at this. And someone else has a Risky Biscuit shirt on too. Just send me that picture right there.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
There you go. Look at him. He's so suave and debonair.
Yep. He's chilling for sure.
Cynthia looks great. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys.
So
You
Dave,
guys
you
have
missed
nothing
it
to do
while
on
you
a
were out.
Saturday night. What's
You
that, buddy?
You missed it while you were out. Kyle said that tomorrow is going to be badass, so we're going to be doing some midday thermaling. So you need to get your butt over here. We're about a 14-hour drive from you. So
I'll leave now.
yeah.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow, Dave? So I'm going to do something that Dave Ruff and I are both going to produce a video on. And it's going to be real cool for a lot of people, especially if you'd like to go to fly-ins. Dave, I picked up a ton of stuff for my trailer today. I picked up 2-inch ply insulating sheets. So I'm going to insulate the roof. I picked up a bunch of stuff so that I can put basically 2 beds, one on top of the other, some shelving units in there. I'm going to try to make a shower and put a I was gonna say potty because I have 4 kids, a toilet in there as well. Of
I
course,
knew
get
I shouldn't
electric
have
running.
told you my idea.
Well, I mean, this was an idea for a long time I was gonna do, especially after I slept in the trailer and the door was cracked open and all the heat that we had going down in Florida escaped, and I was shivering in the middle of the night. I almost crawled into bed with you just to keep warm.
Hey, you know, it was like 95 degrees in my trailer.
So I'm gonna be working on that all day tomorrow. Could fly in the morning, but I mean, there's like almost no winds, but it's gonna be chilly. I mean, I could do it. We flew last night. We
Nice.
flew last night, and it was a fun little flight. I did a lot of talking in this flight, and I actually the title of this one's gonna be target fixation. Is that what it's called? Target
Fixation. Yep.
Yeah, I almost landed on Brandon. I mean, I'm coming in, I'm going, move! I'm running on top of you. So he went running for the hills.
You know
But,
how I
yeah,
got over that?
How's that?
I play a little game with myself. In fact, I was doing it again tonight. Is I'll pick the top of a windsock, or I will pick a light spot in the dirt,
Okay.
and I'll fly at it and get used to an approach at it, and then I will purposely look at it while I fly by it, real close by it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it kind of trains me to let go, as it were. You know, my hands are doing one thing while my eyes are doing another.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll start practicing that.
oh man, okay. So I've got to show you this real quick. Here, let me take this background off. I don't know if you can hear all the crinkling in the background.
I do hear that.
Oh, here, wait a minute. Let's see, there we go.
That's a wing. Is that her wing? Is that
Yep.
Sarah's new wing?
Yeah.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah,
It sounds so crisp and crinkly.
She told me tonight when I brought it in that she's like, no, I'm not going to undo it because, you know, it'll get all, you know, undone in the house and blah, blah, blah. And now she's over there screwing with it.
Lasted like what, an hour and a
Yeah,
half?
she lasted maybe 45 minutes.
It's okay. That's okay. I got my 3rd video done. I'm done with my
Oh, did you?
Swanee videos. I sent it over to the genius, so Greg is gonna review it and see if he makes any suggestions. I'm really proud of this one because I really hated my first 2 videos, and I really thought this one came out really, really nice. And it's only 10 minutes long, and the colors are great. I thought it was really good, and I think everybody that's watching any of the YouTubes, I can speak for Dave and myself and Rick, and just say that 2020 the video quality is going to be a lot better. I know Greg now being here and Anthony, as good as he always has been, is really are pushing people like us to step it up. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. So as I told you, I think pre-show, or maybe I told you just in show, my second flight at the Swanee Fly-In, which was a long cross country I did, had no sound. My sound didn't come through. And what it came down to is this little plug on my helmet that goes from the mic into the inverter box on the GoPro. It literally from a quarter or a 2.5 millimeter to a 3 millimeter. That did something weird inside and broke the connection. So I didn't get any audio. And my audio lately has been kind of cutting in and out. So what I did is I went out and got digital audio. I went out and bought a digital audio recorder. And it's going to be a little more of a pain in the ass because I'm going to have to sync the audio and the video, which, you know, is just done with clapping your hands. It's not a big deal, but it's just kind of one extra step.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting one of those, and then I ended up getting a squid lapel microphone, which is supposed to be a really decent lapel.
Okay.
So hopefully my audio is going to be coming up. The video quality, I record in HD and also 4K. So I'm going to start putting video up in 4K as well.
Yeah,
So
your video quality is great. One thing I noticed about your videos, it sounds like there's an echo. Do you ever hear an echo in your videos, or is it just me?
it's actually stereo. That's actually stereo.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta get better speakers.
Yeah, actually on my RV system, which is a really, really nice high-end audio system. When I
Mhm.
play those videos in there, I mean, you hear the bass that shakes the walls.
Nice.
For the longest time, I was actually judging my engine noise on that system and got it instead of playing with the audio and the settings and stuff until I actually liked the audio. So anyway, you know, I agree with you. I mean, I think that I think that Nicole, I think that Rick, you know, everybody. I know Kyle has some beautiful audio and beautiful video, is, you know, starting to come up into the let's take it to the new level, and
Yeah.
we're kind of pushing each other.
Well, this
So
is our hobby within the hobby. And I think everybody that does it as much as we do, we're kind of getting more and more passionate about it and just enjoy it. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not going to make a living on YouTube. Okay. So it's just more of the fun of doing it, you know? By the way, for anybody worried, I think Tony had made mention of this. I did check my belly button a few moments ago. There is no lint hair in it. We are clear and clean this evening.
what the
Don't
hell was
even
that?
start with me. My wife yelled at me. She goes, I tell you all the time to clean that thing out. I don't know. It's just like a magnet for lint.
I saw that and I'm like, what the hell?
It's disgusting. Okay. You know, that's the only thing worse than that was the one time, I think it was a video right after I got my 1,000th subscriber, and Rick caught that there was a booger hanging out of my nose.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm not good. I'm
Oh,
not well.
So you remember your last flight that morning, your wing got all wet, and those 2 times that your wing like came up beautifully and then just kind of fell out?
My wing wasn't wet. It was just rotor. It wasn't
Well,
wet at
no,
all.
it wasn't rotor. I actually know why your wing fell out.
Oh,
So Rick has a video just before you clipped in on that last flight of what I did to your risers.
did you screw with my risers?
I licked them.
Oh, you what? You licked them.
I licked them.
You licked them. All right. Well, it's better than licking something else of mine, I guess.
Oh, come on now.
Well, I noticed it was very hard to get that wing up.
No, I would never do anything to your risers that would put
You
you
know what?
in
Let me tell you
danger. But
something.
you know,
For all
you were
the
putting those risers on, and I had just drooled all over them. So
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this from the bottom of my heart. Whatever you did to me was well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
And because I pulled so much shit on you, and I have to say, Dave, you are the best sport. Never got angry,
no, I had
just kind of laughed it all out. And so whatever you do to me, I'm sure it's deserved.
I had so much fun with that. Actually, it was funny watching your second video with your joke of sexy time here.
Yeah.
I had left and I don't know what I was doing, and come back and that was painted on the ground. And I'm like, where the hell did that come from? So it was kind of cool to see you actually do that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that was so much fun. So now when we were on Kyle's sporadic show the other morning, I had made mention of after you logged off, I made mention of how the wing, my final landing. So that's going to be on this third video.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, I'll either put it out tomorrow or Tuesday. I haven't decided, but oh God, I laughed so hard. The video is only 10 minutes long. And one thing
That's because it was 38 degrees out.
Oh, dude. Well, let me tell you something else. Part of the problem, oh shit, there you go. So part of the problem I'm having, or had, can you see me okay? Okay. I get a little sign that says my internet connection's slow. We're good?
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Okay. So I've been using this iPad here to do all my video edits on. Well, this thing only holds 50 gig.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the fly-in, I had 4 SD cards. I picked up 2 extra SD cards. Each one's 128 gig. We filled 3.5 of them. So
Nope.
I'm taking video and pulling it over and deleting, pulling it over. And so you can't really gauge and split it into thirds. And that's kind of why it came out like that. So I took all the money that I've made on YouTube, all $30, and I invested that into a MacBook Pro this week so that I could have a better video. And you'll see this next video that I did on the MacBook Pro. It just looks so much better. And I'm real happy with it. You can, all 4 of those cards could have come in there, and I can have edited everything at once, much smoother, much easier. So I'm very excited about that.
That's awesome.
But that's why. But this video is only 10 minutes. Show you what you didn't get to see at the restaurant, which was about 2 minutes of me crying and almost peeing in my pants, standing on a chair, watching Jeff Goyne trying to coordinate everybody putting tables together for 20 people. That was hilarious.
Well, that must have been right before Rick caught you in the bathroom taking care of business.
Now, did you know that was me when you thought it was Rick walking through the store and picking up your drink and picking up condoms? That was actually me going through all that and doing that.
I was like, what the hell are you guys gonna do with those? Where am I gonna find that shit?
You know what the funny thing? When I grabbed the box of condoms, it was like right at the counter there, and the Mexican people were just staring at me, and I accidentally pulled like the whole ream of condoms off, and they fell everywhere. I'm like, oh God, help me! What am I gonna do here?
Oh, I would have played that off great.
Yeah. What do we do? Oh, jumping. I haven't been reading have you been reading the chat? I'm just kind of.
Let's see here. Let's see. Philippines on us. Hey, buddy. Kevin can fly.
Oh, there he is. Ricky, what's up, Ricky?
Yeah, I've been kind of catching him here and there, but
so I would kind of, hey, Ricky, I want you to consider something and reach back out to me. Ricky is Philippines on us. Ricky is going to be trained on December 3rd. And Ricky, if you're interested in coming on and telling us about your training, I think that might be a conversation worth having. So, Dave, do you know who he's training with?
No.
Did I share? I'll share with you maybe another time when Ricky says it's okay.
Okay.
He's going to be.
I think he told me. But if he did, I don't remember. So
yeah, he was the one that was in the video that you gave the $20 to.
Yeah. No, I know exactly who he is. Yeah, no, he's a good dude.
But I'd really like to hear how Ricky's training went after he's done, and that's going to be the beginning of.
So I've got a little surprise. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I asked Rick, since the show tomorrow night is going to be on his channel, if I could do the introduction. He's going to start the show on his channel, but I'm going to end up doing the whole introduction side of things. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for it. So you're just all going to have to go with it. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen, but okay. I will guarantee you will end up laughing hard.
Oh gosh. All right. Sounds good. All right. Is that including the sponsors, or am I going to be doing the sponsors?
I'm probably not going to keep a straight face long enough or be alive long enough.
I've actually reached out. I'm going to start reaching out to all the sponsors. I reached out to one of them today. I would like to start getting some more information and really make it. Sponsors do a lot for the show, and you really can't have, without Patreons and sponsors, it's hard to have everything you need. You know that. So,
hey, what do you think about that whole Patreon thing? More so being.
Well, here, I'll tell you what I think. So for those of you that don't know, Rick had a video that came out a couple days ago, and he was talking, actually it was yesterday, I think yesterday morning. Look, he's got 2 out in 2 days. He's starting to become you, Dave. So Rick started a Patreon account, and right away he got some donations and sponsors for his Patreon account. I think it's a great idea. This cost money, and actually in the video that I shot last night while I was flying, I was talking about it quite a bit. And it cost money for these lights, these cameras, these microphones here, our cameras, not to mention, I mean, we put a lot of time into these videos. So, if it's entertaining, if you're gaining anything out of it, and someone can go ahead and throw $5 a month, I mean, that's great. It shows a little bit of appreciation. I mean, you go to a restaurant, you tip your server $5. You don't even think twice about it. It's kind of the same idea here. It's like a little tip jar. I think it's a great idea. One of the things that I did, and I think you are doing as well, and I know Rick does, and eventually Nikki, what's her name? Nicole, right?
Yeah, Nicole will
do as well.
The one that was going to kill you.
She was going to kill you. We have Teespring accounts. So this is kind of funny. A couple people came up to me and said, "Hey, where do I get one of those Paramotor Crazy shirts?" And I just went, "What?" And they said, I want to buy a Paramotor Crazy shirt. And I'm like, I don't understand. And they're like, "What don't you understand?" I'm like, "You want to buy this?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, I never even thought anybody would want to buy one." So we've got Paramotor Crazy t-shirts and sweatshirts and all the stuff that you can get through Teespring. If you go onto the Our Paramotor Nation website and go to shop, you'll see one already for Paramotor Nation, one for Paramotor Crazy, and then one for Gorilla PPG as well, or PPG Gorilla, whatever he calls himself. So, and eventually I want to get a trike flyer up there as well, and Phoenix in Flight as well. So, whoever you want to have, you can have their gear and support the show and support the people that are bringing it to you.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is I watched Kyle go from not Patreon into Patreon like he's doing now.
Yeah.
I think he was around like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers when he did it. And of course, Rick just did it. He's just a little over 2,000. I'm sitting at 1,950-ish, 40-ish, somewhere in there. I know that you're in there, what, up over 1,100, 1,200 now, somewhere.
I'm a little over 1,200. And actually, I was just talking to Greg earlier today, and I said we're like actually tied. So just to stay ahead of him, I unsubscribed to his channel, and I would invite everybody to unsubscribe to. No, I'm kidding. I don't like to be beaten.
Well, I was ahead of Rick for the longest time. Now I'm within like 60 or 70 of them. And well, anyway, the reason why I asked is I always told myself, well, I'll probably do a Patreon once I hit about 2,500, 3,000, somewhere in there. And just the other day, in fact, I can pull it out again. I just pulled out the camera case that has all my cameras and audio equipment in it. Yeah. I don't expect to be paid doing this. I'm going to go fly anyway, whether I make videos or not. I mean, it's
right.
I'm going to go fly. But, to start sharing it and things like that. And if people appreciate it, I've been thinking more and more of, the whole Patreon thing to go ahead and, afford the new cameras, to afford the new audio. I still think I'm going to wait. I still think I'm going to wait until I'm about 20, in between 2,000 and 2,500. I think it's where I might start talking about it. But, you're right. I mean, aside from the gas, just to go fly, I mean, we're all going to go fly no matter what. It doesn't matter if we record it and make a video, but once you start making that video and the time and the editing and
I think of it this way:
cameras and chips, and
you and I are blessed that we can do this, and we're comfortable being able to afford to do it with or without this extra stuff. And I think when you get people that are doing Patreon and things like that, it almost feels like, I sell Renewal by Anderson windows. I don't want to take the money from that bucket, and that goes towards my family. I'd rather have stuff that's part of my hobby, having that money go towards that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hey, I've got to answer this. I just got called out. So Tony says, what's up with trike fly when I've never seen him fly a trike? Just saying. Well, you need to go back to February and you'll see me flying a trike over a huge pit in the ground in Arizona. And John says, and John backed Tony up and says he owns a trike, never seen it, but I hear rumors. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put my shoes on. I'm going to go out to the barn where I'm going to show you 3 trikes. 3. Fixing to do it.
You're getting angry, aren't you? Now, in all fairness, I did see Dave riding around the field in a trike rider.
I was going to fly it, but the wind, it was crazy. That rotor. Yeah. My trailer would house that 250. I ought to bring that 250 up to the field tomorrow.
I think you've got to make a video showing everybody that you do fly trike. There's no other choice, Dave. You need to do that soon, don't you think?
Well, the thing is the plan is during my downtime is I'm going to video a flight of me on a trike and just not say a damn thing and just post it. See if anybody notices.
I did something for you and I forgot to put this video in. I forgot. I should have done it. When I was taking off that last flight on Sunday morning, I totally forgot to even look for this in the video. Oh. I took off.
Keep talking. I just got called out. Hold on.
You got called out?
Oh, I'm bringing my laptop outside.
You can still hear me?
Oh, yeah.
So I took off and I said, here, you should take your virtual background off there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to. I'm just getting my shoes and stuff on.
All right. So I take off and I look at the camera, or I'm in the camera and I'm recording, and I say, you know what? For everybody that says that I'm always grunting when I take off, I didn't grunt that time. Of course, I was in the trike. I never grunt when I'm in the trike.
you do grunt.
I don't grunt.
You do.
Well, I do grunt. Okay, when I'm foot launching, I grunt during landing and takeoff. There's no doubt about that. I don't know why, and I can't control it. And I think about it every time, and it drives me nuts because I know someone's gonna say, he's grunting again. Sounds horrible. Even my wife listened to it. She goes, honey, you sound like you're taking a crap.
Actually. All right. So I'm going to start playing with my audio stuff because I got to pull it over to my laptop.
So there was a mention before too. I think I saw about me going airborne on my trike.
Yeah, dude. I think it was your left side got like about a foot off the ground.
It wasn't that big. It was 3 or 4 inches off the ground.
No, it was pretty big.
That's what she said.
All
I
right.
definitely grunt. Hey, Walter, send me your Walter, send an email with your. I don't care what part of the world you live in. I told you I would send you one of these. I haven't sent one out to the Dohertys yet either. I need to send it to them. I've just been so busy with everything. But Walter,
no,
I felt
Tony.
bad that you won this. I'll go ahead and send it to you.
Oh
Just,
no, Tony. You called me out, buddy. We're going out to see the Corvette and the trikes.
Oh yeah. But Walter, shoot an email to paramotorcrazy@gmail.com and I'll go ahead and mail you one of the stickers. I felt bad about that. So hey, Gaskins is here. What's up, Timmy? Timmy is like the star of all 3 of my videos. He's hysterical. I love Tim. What's up, you bad apple?
Tim.
What's up, branch manager?
Tim is
All right,
awesome.
where are we
Pete.
going, Dave? Tell us where we are.
So right now we're going out in my backyard. You've got a 5-acre lake just sitting just on the other side of that fence. There's a huge stock lake. I've got the biggest bass I've pulled out of there so far has been 23 inches long and about 8 pounds, right in that area. So as we go, I'll show you the 47 Cadillac. I'll show you the man cave. I'm going up underneath my carport right now. Try not to trip on anything.
We got Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane now joining us. And wasn't he a great ad hoc special guest host for us that Saturday night?
There you go. There's my 47 Cadillac.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
She has a Chevy 350, a Mustang 2 front end, and is fully built. She's about 90% restored. Okay. Now, I know that I lose signal inside my shop, so I'm actually going to pop the door and then go open up the garage door.
Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Yep, that's open. So there's the paracamper right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Behind that is the man cave.
Now, when are you going to start working on the paracamper?
Probably in about another 2 weeks. I've been ordering parts for it.
Okay. Now, where are you at now?
Actually in my garage.
See, this is what I feel like this is what I did when I was running around the field interviewing people.
There's
Uh-oh. We're losing you.
50. This is a Pliny 250. Can you hear me?
We can, yeah,
Hello?
now it's a little better.
All right. Yeah, if I get close to that shop, I start losing signal.
Okay.
Anyway, there's the 250. Behind it right there, you can kind of see the 190.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of wheels in there. There's trikes.
Over there is another trike, which I'll take you around the other side. There is a 1976 Corvette.
Oh, my. That's
Now,
nice.
if you get up on my channel, you actually see the dyno runs on that. It was putting out 428 horsepower to the rear wheels, and on nitrous, it was putting out 556 to the rear wheels. It's quick.
Now, is that all bow material on the left there?
Yeah, that's actually some bow material right there.
Okay.
Over on the far wall, right there,
Mm-hmm.
that is a lot of bow material over there.
Okay.
And then in the back there, going that way and then around. There's the man cave. We'll take you guys in there sometime. There's some fun stuff. There's actually another foot launch motor in there.
Blow up dolls?
There we go. So there you go. Trikes. Hold on. I'll show you the other trike.
It isn't
Kevin
put together
says
yet.
he's gonna come out in February and hang out there with you.
There is a landing gear to it. There is the cage to it. I just need to put the motor on it.
Okay.
So
There's strikes, man.
yeah,
There's strikes, no doubt.
kind of see the Corvette back there too. You can see the nose of it.
Oh yeah, so pretty.
Yeah. So there you go, guys.
All
Trike
right.
Flyer does have trikes.
Very cool.
It is.
So I've got a question for you. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I do want to put you on the spot. Can you hear me okay? Or do you
Yep,
want me
I
to wait
can
till
hear
you
you.
sit back down?
Oh no, I can hear you.
All right. So about 6 months ago, you had this great idea about this big cross-country adventure.
Yep.
Have you been thinking about that? Have you been planning for this?
I have been,
up.
but with everything that was going on during that
Hey.
time, I kind of put it on the back burner. Because I didn't want to piss people off.
Dave, I'm gonna have to come right back. We got a little something happening here at the house. I'll be right back, okay?
So there you go. There's the moon up over the lake. I wish you guys could actually see the view that I have. Well, you might be able to see the reflection off the lake. No, you can't. Oh, that's too bad. Oh well. I have to give you guys a daytime tour of this place sometime. Anyway, to answer his question, we've been talking about a fly-in in April, along with an air race. There would be 2 air races. One would be about a 75-mile air race. The other one would end up being about a 400 to 450-mile air race out here in Texas in mid-April. Pretty decent flying weather then. It's right before the stormy season of May. And we have been talking about it. We have been making real light plans. I've the area secured to actually go do it. So what I was going to do is wait until my downtime and start kind of putting the idea out there to the flying community again. Hey, is this something you guys might be interested in? And if you guys are, and we can get a turnout, then I will open up the property for a fly-in and 2 Icarus style type races. One for beginners, which would be about a 75-mile flight round trip, which would go from here to Atlanta, Texas, down to the airport, about a 35-minute or a 35-mile flight one way. And then a 400-mile, which would actually take you Texas, Oklahoma, or quite possibly take you into Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. So that's kind of what we're thinking. We don't know yet.
All right. How was that? How did Brennan do?
He didn't say a word.
Okay, we had a toilet bowl that was leaking.
Oh no.
Yeah, so just shut the water off and fix it later. So I'm sorry. Did you probably already talked all about what I just asked you, didn't you?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
see here. I'm actually, hold on a second. I'm going to change my phones. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Sweet. All right. So no, just to catch you up, Dave. Yeah, we have been talking about it. It's just with everything that was going on back then, I didn't want to tick, the panel off or tick anybody else off. So I just kind of got quiet about it. I have in the back of my mind been making silent plans with it here in about another month or so. I was going to start taking it to the flying community and saying, hey, if this is something you guys want to do, we can do it. So, it's just, it's kind of in limbo.
Does Lori
What's
is
that?
Lori Kadakis involved with this still or no?
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, he is.
Okay.
Let's see here. Just kind of reading comments here. Trek Flyer can have a fly-in at his place. Yeah, we actually could. Do you just prefer foot launch than wheels? Tony, no, actually, I like wheels and I like foot launch. Here's the thing. Actually, it's funny. Kyle and I were kind of talking about this tonight when we're getting ready to leave. I'm 50 years old. Believe it or not, when I shave and stuff like that, I look like I'm in my late 30s, but I am 50 years old and I can foot launch real strong.
Strong launch, strong landings, stuff like that. And I'm really loving the ability to do that. One, it keeps me limber, and two, it's just fun to do. I really feel that if I start using wheels more, that I'll just go to wheels and I won't foot launch anymore. And I really feel like foot launch really keeps me limber. And the only time that I would really foot launch at that point would when I'm free flying, and I don't free fly all that much, at least not off mountains and things. So I'm really kind of in that gray area of, well, you know, if I can foot launch, I might as well. However, you guys, I do promise everybody that's watching, anybody that sees this in the after it's already been posted, you will be seeing me fly some wheels here real soon. I've got those trikes. I'm putting a nitro on the 180, or I'm sorry, on the 190 trike, the small trike out there. I now have the trailer so I can take the trikes to places and go fly them. So anyway, you guys will see me, and it most likely is going to come where you're just going to see me post a video, not say a word about it, and I just happen to be flying a trike. Back to you, Dave.
You know, you would think by now I would be able to clearly say what I prefer, whether it's foot launching or trike, and I really don't know. I mean, Brennan's obviously been flying the trike, which leads me to stay on the foot launching. But Sunday morning I flew and I had fun with it. I don't know. And you know, there's things you can do on both that you can't do on the other. You know, for instance, that long, I don't know how, you probably didn't see when I landed and taxied, but I'm guessing that was about 300 to 400 yards, maybe more, of taxiing all the way back, which was so much fun.
It really is. I mean, they both definitely have their areas. The other morning when you guys flew, it was 38 degrees. It was frosty and dewy outside. Those wings were getting cold. You notice the foot launchers were having problems. You know, the trike flyers were getting out of there no problem.
Yep.
You know, when I want to take some weight, or I want to go on a real long cross country and carry 5 gallons of fuel and stuff like that, well, you know, that's the trike. So you guys will definitely see me flying trikes. It's just I've really super been enjoying the whole foot launch thing lately. Yeah, I'm an older guy. My body handles it fine, so that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. I think the foot launching for me was just a new challenge. You know, and anytime you take on something new, it's exciting, and you it's different, and you want to get better at everything. And I kept saying that too before I started foot launching. I love the sport, and I wanted to get good and learn all aspects of it as much as I possibly could. So
yeah, actually, I was about ready to ask you. I mean, you were a trike flyer for a year until you got your foot launch, and I think the other day, the last day of that flying is, I think, the first time that's the second time that I've seen you fly trike, because you and I took that cross country in Ohio and you flew your trike.
That was my 100th flight. You're right.
Yeah. So, I mean, ever since, you've really been foot launching. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes I wonder if I forget how to do it. See, and here's another thing too. Now that specific trike, I'll call it the Pfister Special, the fly pie, because no one else sells it.
Hey, actually, hold on, Dave. Listen, Dave. Trike flyer here. You and I need to have a talk here, son.
Okay. Where's your motorcycle?
Fly another trike, and you're gonna die.
Yeah. But I think if once I get another trike that has weight shift on it, I may feel completely like, gosh, it's giving me the best of all worlds. Because that's the thing I love the most about foot launching, is being able to weight shift, which I can't do on this Pfister Special. Or as Mr. Gaskins in the chat would say, I got fisted.
You know,
he likes to remind me of that.
2 of my trikes are weight shift. Actually, now one of my trikes is now weight shift, because I took the weight shift off the 250. What I found is weight shifting free flight is absolutely superb. You will never get more weight shift than in free flight. When you go to something like the Atom 80 you have, or the Nitro, you know, has really decent bars on it, you can actually, you know, weight shift with it, is nowhere near what you can do in free flight. When you go to the trike, it's nowhere near what you can do with a foot launch. You're really not going, well, my experience.
The more weight, the harder it is to weight shift.
Yeah, well, the trike just doesn't really allow you to do it. I mean, even with the swing arms, you just can't weight shift like you can with a foot launch. With a foot launch, I can get my head outside the riser and look down.
That makes sense. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, because someone had mentioned that, and the other day I was like, okay, let me try to do this, and I'm like, I can't get my helmet past the risers here. I just, between the cage and the riser, I'm like, I can't get it through. So I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, I can. What I usually do if I'm going to weight shift over is I'll look, I'll start leaning, I'll get my head out, and then I'll take my riser and start pushing up on it so I can really lean over, and I can get almost within 70-80% of a weight shift of a free flight harness. Free flight harness, I can literally go sideways and feel like you're going to come out of the harness.
I can't wait to do that one day. It will be in a couple years, but I can't wait to do that. So there's a question for you here from Tony. What did you think of Andrew's trike?
Oh, I loved it. That thing was really comfortable. It was responsive. Of course, it had the Moster on it. So awesome power. It was easy to taxi. It didn't feel like it was going to tip over. I did a couple acceleration runs with it, like you guys did with the drag racing. It tracked straight. It felt stable. I really wanted to fly it. It's just the winds were just so screwy up over those trees. I just didn't want to chance chopping up a wing or flipping the trike. Not that it would have hurt it. But what he did say is that when I go back in January, I am absolutely flying both the foot launch and the trike in the SkyTap Angels.
Yeah.
He's going to put me on them, and we're going. I did fly his Skyflux though. The Skyflux wing, 25 meter. After I clipped the lines on my Colorado, he graciously brought that wing and said, "Dude, go fly this." That Skyflux actually was impressive. It had some turn to it. It was easy control, and boy, it had a lot of lift. Tons of lift.
I just got freaked out. I looked over here, and I think someone just stuck this here, and I didn't even notice it till just now. It freaked me out. What's up, baby? Sorry about that.
Hey,
I got sidetracked there. Look, Dave, I got head. Okay. Anyways,
hey, did you know that I got demonetized? Well, I didn't. The video did.
I saw that.
The last
Saturday Night
Paramotor
Special.
Nation guys, a live special from Swanee Flying got demonetized after 2 days.
Yeah. What was I going to? Oh, did you get a chance? Now, okay, I'm going to say this. Being that we're a part of the show, being that we have sponsors that actually are in direct competition with each other, I support all merchants and everybody. Okay, I don't show favoritism to everybody. I promote everybody, but I will say this: did you get a chance to sit on Larry DeChico's quad?
No, I wanted to, and I should have asked.
So Larry and I were talking about that. Guess what he sells that thing for?
What?
What do you think he sells his quad with the motor for? I don't remember which motor was on there, but that unit right there. What do you think that was? That goes for? Sorry, Brennan.
Usually a trike or a quad with a motor is going to at least start at somewhere around 9,500 to 10.5.
I think he's selling what he had there under 7.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. That's a damn good price.
Those were damn good looking trikes too.
Yeah, it was a quad.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was super comfortable.
See, I don't know how I feel about a quad though. It feels more like a go-kart to me. I like the trike. I don't know, maybe it's just I've never flown a quad, so
I'd like to try.
Yeah,
I'd like to try. I don't see any reason why it would be bad.
No,
in fact, it seems like it'd be safer.
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't tip over as easily. I suppose it'd be more stable at higher speeds, you know, on the ground. But I don't know. They just don't look right to me.
What I really liked was
I've never been on one.
I really liked Travis and Kyle's trike with the 2-seaters.
I wish my 250 was out there. I'm pretty sure I would have given him a run for his money. My 250, when you power it up, it's got a 5-foot long prop. It's got a 60-inch prop. And it's a Polini 250. And the trike itself weighs like 130 pounds.
Well, Kyle weighs 100 pounds. I mean, there's that advantage too.
Yeah, there is that. All I know is that when I power mine up, it pushes you back in the seat like a muscle car does. It actually has that type of acceleration.
Yeah. John, go ahead and check out paraorange.com. And I think that quad is listed on there if you're serious about looking into it. But it's a great little unit. Yeah, I raced. I drove it. I raced Ripman, who was riding my trike, who I was scared to death he was going to flip.
No, you didn't race it. You were scared to get into that throttle.
I was fine. Well,
you were scared to get into that throttle. Like,
and Alan Penn just got mad at me. He said, "Damn it, you're a foot launcher now, no quads." I'll fly anything. I love it. I love flying. Doesn't matter
Kevin
to me.
says something about the gravity with the 185. Yeah, I saw the gravities, I think, for the first time about 6 months ago. I really like the looks of them, but I'm still with that whole McFly and the Tinnin, I think it is, or the Tinnix, and the Mavericks.
Chuck says he loves his low boy 2 quad with the new Corsair Black Bull. It rockets off the field.
Yeah, they do. There is a guy in North Carolina. I do not. Yes, I do. Wheeler is his last name. Oh, come on, I should know this. Robert Wheeler.
Yeah.
No, it's not him. It's his friend.
That was.
Anyway, one of them has a Black Bull. That thing, holy cow, has some acceleration and climb to it. It's just wow. Yeah, it's not Robert, it's his friend that has one. And then I saw a guy with one.
You had a shirt on the other day when you were on Kyle's show, and I noticed it was a red shirt with Greek letters, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Your Pi Gamma shirt.
Pi Gamma.
So, and what does that really stand for? Why did we do this? Because we want everybody to know that we're all together as a flying community, right? So what does it matter what you're flying, whether it's foot launch, trike, quad? I'd like to fly anything that flies and just experience all of it. It's fun. It doesn't matter to me as long as I'm up in the air and taking a deep breath and looking down and having fun, right?
Yep.
Don't matter. Doesn't matter.
I want to see
fun
Kyle.
every way.
I want to see Kyle O'Glee fly a trike, and I want to see Tucker Gott fly a trike.
That'd be kind of fun.
That would be kind
It'd
of
be
fun.
neat to see what they have to say about that. So
Actually,
I'm gonna shut this door real quick.
If I bring my trike up there, it's going to be when Kyle's up there. I might just say, "Hey, go ahead and hop in it."
Yeah. Well, Redman was gonna fly my trike, but I think just time ran out, and because we didn't have so much flying time. But I told him that he's gonna fly my trike at Bad Apples next year because Brendan's gonna be at school, so he won't. If Brendan's in the chat, he's gonna say, "I'll get out of school, you'll see." But I want Ripman to try that out. What was I gonna tell? Oh, so here's another topic. So last night I get out to the field, and I was gonna fly the trike, and then we started talking about the speed bar. I said, I've got the speed bar attached. Maybe I'll give that a try tonight. I haven't done it yet. And so I
on
get
your
out
foot launch?
Yes.
Nice.
So instead of pulling the trike out of the trailer, I pulled the Atom80 out, and I got the big gloves on because it was, what was it, 20? I think it was like, what did I send you? I think it was like 30 degrees or something, or 29 degrees, something like that. So I was starting to warm it up, and I'm like, gosh, I'm having just trouble even grabbing the throttle. It just feels so different. And now I've flown with gloves on with the trike, but it's a lot easier to do that. You're not having to pull up your A's with the A-line assist on the trike and all. So I quickly realized, okay, I'm not even going to screw around with the speed bar until the springtime when I can reach down and know what I'm grabbing and velcroing and velcroing back. This is not going to happen. I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, when I fly with my speed bar, when I reach down to grab something, sometimes 50% I get the speed bar, 50% I get something else.
What else do you get?
Clear prop.
Anyways, well, I hope that doesn't get caught in the prop. Okay, so
hey, Kyle stepped on his P tube in his harness before.
Oh, jeez. I'll answer that question in a second. Can you have a speed bar in a truck?
Yes, you've done it.
Like, the answer is yes, and I actually made a video with it. I did. It didn't make a difference. I mean, it's, who cares? 3 miles an hour. It wasn't that big of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
well,
so I get these.
Depending on the wing.
Yeah, probably. I am using a beginner intermediate with my trike, so that's a good point there too. So I did have these big heavy gloves on, and I probably sat there for about 2.5, 3 minutes just trying to figure out where my fingers were. These two fingers are going towards the accelerator. Okay, these two fingers are holding my toggles. Then these two fingers have to hold the A line, and of course you got the same thing over here. But I kept dropping stuff and missing stuff, and finally I said, all right, I could either shut this off and start over again or just send it and see what happens. And if it breaks, I'll replace it. So of course I just sent it.
Using gloves and well, whether it's trike or even foot launch, the tactile feel is way different. The first time I started launching with gloves, it freaked me the hell out.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin, I was thinking about you today because I was passing the iFly here in Cincinnati. And I was thinking, I want to get in there. I know Kevin's done that a couple of times. We've been talking about doing iFly. Have you ever done iFly, Dave? Do you know what iFly is?
Yeah,
Have you done it?
I did it on a bachelor party.
Oh, fun. Was it good? Did you enjoy it?
It was so much fun, man.
Expensive.
I only got 2 flights. I only got 2 flights, and they both were like a minute, but well worth it. Now I've also done skydiving too, so.
Yeah. Takes a real man who is secure in his manhood to fly a trike. Well, you know what Tim Gaskin flies. What did you think of Tim? Did you see Tim waking up Brennan?
Oh,
Dave?
Speaking of waking people up, your daughter is a trooper for that whole water wake up.
But did you see Gaskin's waking up Brennan?
Oh, I did. Yeah, Marine style.
Okay. Is that child abuse or is that just, getting him ready for the real world? What do you think?
No, that's called going to a fly-in with a bunch of grown men that are probably still drunk from the night before.
He wasn't drunk. Oh man. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm actually taking you to the door.
But I see something about training before. Kevin says I've dropped my toggle so many times. Damn throttle takes the feel away. Remember that first flight that you and I did with you were trying to help me foot launch? And I dropped I dropped my brake as I was taking off.
I've done it.
And you're like, we need to work on your takeoff. I'm like, no, I dropped my brake. And then I grabbed it and kept running.
Yeah, when you told me that, I'm like, oh, okay. Because at first I'm just like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Hey, there's a good question. Josh, you going to the para party at Kyle's at Thanksgiving? That's where you met Kyle last year, wasn't it? Or the year before?
That's where I met him, yeah. I had been watching his videos for probably around 4 or 5 months before that. And started realizing he was right up the road. And I can't remember if I reached out to him. It might have been, I think it was over the Nitro because I had gotten the Nitro, couldn't hook up with Todd in North Carolina. So I asked Kyle if he would just kind of supervise, me taking off of that because I hadn't foot launched in like 2 years or a year and a half. And everything was fine. I just pulled the wing up. He just kind of sat there and just kind of watched. I mean, there was. And then, shortly after that, he told me about the para party, and I went up there for the day. I think it was a Saturday. This time, I'm actually going to spend the night because after I left, they had like this huge bonfire and everything.
Cool. So here's a question from D. Thomas. It says, why don't they put a foot throttle on these things? Well, I think there's an obvious answer that doesn't have to be said about why foot launchers couldn't have a foot throttle. But D, you can actually look up skydiving. And I saw their truck over at the fly-in here too. Skydiving is down in Florida. I don't know too much about them, but they actually set up a trike so that it actually has a steering wheel. And basically you're driving into the sky. Have you ever seen that, Dave?
No, I have not.
Yeah, check out skydiving. So I don't know where the throttle is or if it's a hand throttle, but they make it as real simple.
I actually want to get with Kyle and see if we can make me a mouth throttle because I'm going to do that whole archery from the paramotor and shoot balloons off my lake.
A mouth throttle. How are you going to vlog them while you're flying?
Well, I'm not going to vlog. I'm just going to be taking the shots, but it's got to. What I need to do is be able to use the mouth throttle and the hand throttle. So I'll take off with the hand throttle. And then as I'm starting to get my bow ready and start preparing for the shots and letting go of the brakes, I'll use the mouth throttle to keep throttled over the lake.
Okay. Craig Taylor says Eric DeFore is skydiving. I didn't, you know what? And that makes sense. I kind of remember seeing that now. Yeah. And he was there, of course.
Chad just asked me, where do you live? I thought you were up near Paramotor Crazy. No, actually, I live in Texas, Northeast Texas. Is where my
Yep.
home is. That's where I am right now. I'm only here for a few days. I'm going back up to North Carolina this coming Wednesday for 3 days, getting packed up there, and then coming back to Texas where I'm off for the next 2 months. Yeah, and then I'll find myself in Arizona in the spring. Actually, I'm going to Florida in January. I'm going to
Yeah.
get my Civ, my first Civ, 1 of 2 Civs done, and I'm also going for my instructor tandem certification through One Up Adventure.
There you go. There you go. So Rokan says it's a full throttle, and yes, it's Eric to 4. There was a comment here I just saw a second ago. Oh, it sounds like it'll be with if you're doing a mouth throttle, it'll be all mumbly. But I don't think there's a real concern with you doing a mouth throttle and still being able to vlog while you're flying, because you're always talking out of your ass. So it shouldn't be difficult for you at all.
Well, guys, it's been nice. My name's Trike Fire. See ya. No, it's basically since I'm flying over my lake, I mean, I've got flotation and stuff, but I need the ability to be able to throttle out before I go plowing into my neighbor's field and cows. So I want the ability to be able to use my hand throttle to take off and then a mouth throttle so I can actually hold the bow and be able to shoot. Now I can hold the throttle and the bow at the same time. I've tried it. I have a little Korean bow. It's not the one that you saw. That's my horse bow, my Mongol British horse bow. But I've got a smaller bow that's just as much power that I'm able to hold the throttle and the bow at the same time.
I just don't see how you can shoot an arrow with that much wind coming at you and be able to hit the target. I mean, when you're shooting an arrow, you might have some wind, but
Hey, listen, it's no
there's a
different
lot of
than-
wind coming right at you as you're flying.
Listen, it's no different than, when we used to shoot down at Beggar's Canyon. I mean, that wind was just as strong then.
Oh, okay. All right, Luke. Thank you. Why? Hold
No,
on, rewind. Excuse me. Hold on one second. 1 second. Rewind 60 seconds. Talking out of your ass. Fast forward 60. Thank you.
I'm actually really curious.
No, Muss. He didn't. He lied to us. He didn't do any trick shots. And he said, and that's why all these people came to see him doing trick shots, but he never brought out any bows and arrows.
No, I brought out my bow and arrow.
God. Alan writes those tights give him superpowers. I guess you could then. There you go.
You ought to see me sing. I can actually keep up with some pretty high pitch because of those tights. No different than shooting from horseback. No, and I used to shoot from horseback until I got dumped off my horse into a barbed wire fence. But no, I'm really curious to see if I can hit a balloon from a moving paramotor.
That'd be sweet. That'd be very cool. That'd be very unique that no one else has tried. Not even Tucker has tried that. Hey, he caught a balloon, didn't he? He's caught balloons.
He's caught a balloon. Hey, let me
I
ask
love-
you a question.
Yeah.
That airport manager in Florida, would you
Yes.
have shot a bow on his airport?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Did you see what happened the next day when somebody shot a gun?
I heard the gun shot. Todd Falstad and Ritman were right there.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not cool.
Kevin, that is true.
What'd Kevin say?
He said, how do you shoot women and children? Easy, you just don't lead them as much. It's a quote out of Full Metal Jacket.
Gotcha.
Oh, man.
What else?
I don't know. I'm going thermaling tomorrow. I'm going to get back up in the air with Kyle, and I guess we're going to do some mid-afternoon thermaling, and Sarah's going to do some training.
Here's a winner. So have you ever flown in the snow, Dave?
No, I never have.
All right, never mind. It's a question I'd love to ask Kyle, but Kyle wouldn't even know the sweater question, I don't think.
Kyle,
Question
I think
came up.
Kyle is very much like me, or I'm very much like Kyle. We're 50-degree dudes. Now, the only exception to that rule is that if I haven't flown for a week or two, I might fly in the 40s or upper 30s for like 5 minutes and then wait for warmer weather.
Mhm. Um, I was talking to Greg about this the other day about flying most of the time during the winter when the snow is covering the ground, because and I really want to, I don't want to say this and be wrong about it, but from what I was understanding, it heats up the ground more smoothly, so you don't get these wicked thermals popping up, collapsing your wing, which means you can fly basically just about all day. So Must Till wants to know about your Colorado.
So when that happened, I actually looked at the video when that happened. Something hit me in the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what hit me in the Achilles heel because my shoe wasn't cut. There wasn't any blood, but there was major skin missing. And what I'm wondering is that when the prop, major, man, major. Dave, can I shut your? Wait a minute. I'm gonna see if. Ha! All right. So basically.
I don't know.
Anyway, love you.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. Keep telling your story. Go ahead. I'm just going to be here doing some stuff.
Yeah, all of a sudden all my video just goes to hell. So something hit me in the Achilles heel. And I'm not sure if when the prop struck the line, cut the line, if it was a line that hit me or what. But I thought it was at least 2 lines on the Colorado. It wasn't, guys. It was just the tip steering line. That's all it was. By that time, I was already aggravated because the launch before that, the wing overshot me, frontaled, and I had just shut my motor down, but my prop was still spinning enough to catch all the lines in the prop, and there was rotor and all sorts of bullshit going on. So anyway, I got some of it. I'm kind of embarrassed to release it because I really threw a wall-eyed fit, which I shouldn't have done. Anyway, I might have to beep out most of it. What are you doing?
I don't. How did you become the host? I started this show. It's on my YouTube channel, and now you're the host.
Because you
How
left.
did that happen?
Because you punked out and you left.
Stupid internet. All right. Well, you got the power.
Oh,
right.
man. Anyway, no, that's pretty much it with the Colorado. The cool story, the takeaway from it was the very next day. Actually, it was the morning that you and Rick flew, 38 degrees. I went to Chris and said, "Hey, can you help me?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely. Find a line." And Travis with One Up Adventure gave me a line, and Chris tied it in. Said, "Go test fly it." And I said, "I'll test fly it next time I pull the wing out because it was really wet. I didn't get my wing soaked." And that's what we did today. I pulled it out. And yeah, went and flew it for about a little over an hour between 2 flights, and flies great.
Yep.
Chris,
Oh,
Chris
well,
was
Kevin
awesome.
wants to come in.
Well, let him
Should
come
we
in.
invite anybody that wants to come on can come on in.
Yeah,
We'll
might
do
as well.
that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put the code up there. Oh, am I allowed to? You're the host, of course.
Kiss my ass.
Okay. Let me get the code up there, Kevin. You can jump in. Anybody else that wants to jump in and play Brady Bunch, you can jump in too. I'm going to put the code in here.
Here's a story.
One of my kids spilled Coca-Cola apparently on the keyboard. Everything is now difficult to use here.
So speaking of spilling Coke on keyboards accidentally, so has your daughter exacted her revenge for waking her up with water on her birthday?
She knows better. She knows the rule. Anybody that ever comes at me with a gun, I come back with a cannon.
Your kids are absolutely awesome. When I was out there
thank you.
met them and just talking to them and stuff, God, man, you and your wife have done something right. They're awesome children.
Inappropriate, Josh Perry. Inappropriate. That wasn't not nice. Not nice.
So here's a funny story.
since we're going to go inappropriate with teenagers.
Oh God.
So Sarah has a son, and when he hit about 12, 13 years old, she started asking why he was taking showers for a lot longer. I had to explain it. She was mortified.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, somebody better come in here. Otherwise, this is
Yeah.
going to be a very short show. So actually, while we're waiting, Dave, tell us who we have on tomorrow night.
Oh gosh, who do we have on tomorrow night? I forgot. Who do we have on? Jean-Francois. Thank you. So Jean-Francois is going to be on with Jay Clark. They did the river run. And Shandor, who everybody sees quite often in the Facebook pages and on the different chats. He did ground crew for them, and they did the Colorado River Run. Julie Clark was also going to come on the show. She still may, but very excited to have her on her own show because she does a ton of flying. She's very, very humble. She has texted me and saying, I'm not that interesting, but we think she is. But
Is she the one
it's
in
going to be a
Utah?
fun show tomorrow night.
Is she the
Was
Utah?
she in Utah? No, she doesn't live in this country.
Oh, okay.
So
Thinking of a different person. No, that's going to be a fun show.
Check out the live.
I'll be logging in probably about 10 minutes before we go live because I'll be coming out of Gillum, Louisiana, heading this way. So don't get nervous.
I'll be in about 10 minutes till the show begins because I'll be flying with Mr. Kyle O'Glee, a special guest of Mr. Kyle O'Glee. He's invited me, Dave Ruff. That's Kyle O'Glee, the great Kyle O'Glee, has invited me to be flying with him, especially tomorrow night. He's not training me. He just wants to hang out with me.
So
hey, Kevin.
You know what I'm going to do to you, Dave?
Tell me.
I'm going to go ahead and give Tucker a call. And I'm going to say, hey, bud, I just happen to be in New Jersey. You want to, hook up and go fly and stuff. Yeah. And then I'm going to get online and go, ha.
Hey, Tucky, it's me, Dave Ruff. You remember me. What's up, Kevin can fly?
Kevin, can you fly?
I fly very quickly towards the ground.
Gravity, man.
I fly with style, or fall with style.
Hey, I've got a good idea. Since, Dave, you've brought a guest on.
Yeah.
So, come here. Hold on for a second.
And I think our warrior is almost about to get banned from the chat saying things like that. You're not allowed to call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man. That's the wrong kind of chat in this circle, buddy.
Oh, there's why. He's a super Dell.
It's okay. It's all right. You know, the thing is, I was thinking about this today. It would be a lot of fun to get all of these super duper trainers together to see how super they actually are. Because the good ones always seem to be like relatively reserved and quiet. And the ones that are always loudmouth horses' asses are always the one that want to run around and post videos talking trash on everyone else.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Sarah? Hi.
What's up, Sarah? Let's see.
Well, what's up is I'm going to go type my new wing tomorrow.
There you go. So are you excited for that? You're going to go out and get some horse shit on it and get it nice and dirty?
No, of course not.
Oh, come on. That's like the first thing you do. The first day I took my wing out, I landed right in the freaking paddock and got a big old wet pile of cow shit on it. Like,
oh, no, that's awful.
It's the way I mean, we were flying out of Tillamook. You know, everyone knows Tillamook dairy, Tillamook cheese. It's Tillamook cows.
Oh, man. I lived in Oregon for a while, and I got spoiled on that Tillamook dairy stuff.
Oh, it's wonderful. And you know, we're spoiled here to have it right around the corner. We got like 3 or 4 of them. We got Tillamook and Umpqua and yeah, it's, and then, you know, like beers, like everyone knows about the beers, but Portland is the greatest microbrew capital of the United States. So we have crazy amounts of microbrews that you could dream up. Some delicious ones and some disgusting ones, but hey, you know, to each their own.
There you go.
Right.
I'm just trying to make. I'm gonna make some moderators here. Craig Taylor had a good point. I put anybody that makes a comment like that, I got to put them in a timeout. So I put
A
our word in a
timeout.
timeout. Yeah, that you can do that. I can do that. I can put them in a 300-second timeout, or I can just ban them altogether.
Timeout for, you got 2 minutes for high sticking.
300. That's what is it? A few. That's about 5. It's 5 minutes. Yeah. And then where are you at, Craig Taylor? My
No, I mean, like,
enforcer.
but it would be fun though to see like a kiting contest. Cause I mean, like, seriously, like, honestly, like Dell has some serious skill, you know, and there's no arguing that. He just
Oh,
has a
yeah.
loud mouth to go with his loud skill.
Well, yeah.
You know, and then you got all the guys that come out of Aviator. Almost every one of them is phenomenally skilled. Kyle has phenomenal skills. I've never actually seen Kurt demonstrate his own skills, but I've seen him demonstrate education as far as skills. So it'd be real good to line him up and see, you know, that has
So
to play out.
Kurt is very good pilot on the trike.
Oh, I'm sure. I've just never personally seen him do any of it. I've seen him instruct it. I've just never actually seen him do it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. No, Alan, I'm a Browns fan too, so you're good there, buddy. Yeah, it's funny. So I promoted a YouTube channel the other day, and actually I'm doing it on my next video as well. And it happens to be just something totally completely outside of paramotors, and it's a guy who's actually my first cousin. His name's Jordy, and he does a metal detecting, which is very cool, very fun. In fact, Rick got really excited about it as well. So the YouTube channel is called Dinger51, Dinger, like you're hitting a home run, Dinger51. But he and I had a conversation just about Kurt, and he was asking, not realizing that Flight Junkies is where I was trained and what I was alluding to in that free training versus $3,500. But he even said, look, anybody that puts doesn't allow comments, you know, they're hiding something. And just his demeanor. I said, well, what did you think when you saw the videos? He goes, well, it's informative, but his demeanor is just obnoxious. I said, yeah, okay, well, there you go. But, you know, I was talking also with Philippines on Us at the fly-in. You know, it's unfortunate because a lot of schools like Aviator won't take heavier pilots. There's a weight limit of what they'll train up to. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, yeah, and mostly it boils down to the fact that it's a safety requirement. From my understanding, it's like if you are heavy and you come in, you know, not only are you a 250 or 275 pound guy, but then you add 80 pounds of motor on your back. It's just a disaster for the knees and the ankles. Even, you know, even if you're in fairly good shape. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of weight coming into the ground. And then the secondary factor that a lot of people don't look at, most wings top out right at about 130 kilos. And if you're above 130 kilos, then you got to start moving into tandem wings. And so a lot of bigger guys are flying smaller tandem wings, which then that presents its own problem because there's no speed bar. The trimmer systems are a little bit different. The line layout, it's double lines. So it's more lines, more tangles, more hassle. So it really is encouraging to get your body weight below 230 pounds.
So I'm wondering who teaches trikes? Who are some of the big trainers out there?
Actually, the guy that taught me to foot fly also does trike, Wayne Mitchler.
You just killed
I know Minyard teaches trikes.
Who does?
Minyard, Matt Minyard does.
Oh, Minyard. Yeah. Yeah, there's not too many up north that really do, which is unfortunate because it gives Flight Junkies a huge monopoly on that. Now I know Fly My PPG, both guys were trained, you know, Mike and Justin were trained by One Up Adventures for the tandem, the trike tandem. So now Muss is saying that Aviator does trike.
Yeah, they recently started doing trike training about 4 or 5 months ago.
So
Mike
why wouldn't
Canella. Mike Cannella in
Okay.
Wisconsin.
Because that's what Tucker's gonna do. When Tucker goes down next month to film his giveaway student, he's gonna take trike training, and he wants to do tandem trike flying.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's cool.
And I mean, I
No,
personally
I'm very
agree with the tandem trike flying over foot launch, and not to say that it's bad, because where we live, we do tandem foot launch free flying left and right.
You
It's
shut
a
that
ton of
computer
fun.
down.
But to have a set of wheels come in and land, it gives you that, I hate to say it, but it gives you that crumple zone, from when you come in a little bit hard versus having to do the PLF, eat your motor, bend a frame, eat a prop, whatever, however far it goes. Some are worse than others.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing though, I was listening to the video, the commentary that your son was shooting. What was the joke about don't sit down on your launch? Like Kyle was making jokes about selling you props. And then 10 seconds breaks off.
So what was I doing? I was running, and I probably just
hopping into
sat
the
down on
seat?
my lunch. What's that?
Were you hopping into the seat?
I probably was. Usually I run it out. I don't know what was going on, or maybe it's just not completely focused. So I probably did hop into my seat. That thing, it just pulls me up right away and goes right. I mean, it pulls me right into the seat. So I make an extra effort to always shut up, Dave, to make sure that I'm doing the Fred Flintstone as I'm running into the air.
I know it's fun. Last time I went out flying, I literally spent like a half an hour never getting into the seat. And I just sat there doing touch and goes back and forth. And I just hang on the leg straps, never even got in, never sat in tight. And it was, the definition of that practice was let the wing, let the motor, let the whole thing lift you and fly you away. It's just, when you get to that point where you can do it, you start playing with different aspects of doing it. You top landings and playing sideways, Cobra launches, just all kinds of different shit. Especially like when you guys were showing the kiting and you guys were on the ground and you're playing with kiting and stuff. Like to me,
amazing.
that's when a lot of the fun comes in, because you can start coming in and playing with like big ears on the ground. You have your buddy come over, like you guys were talking about with Jeff being there. You can walk over and start messing with different lines, collapsing the wing different ways, seeing how it recovers. If you, like I said, I've said it a million times. You guys have heard it. Kiting is for me is a fundamental fact, because I primarily free fly. So the more the weather changes, the more the wind velocity changes, the more the kiting becomes paramount, because if you're not kiting in those conditions, you're getting ripped into trees or getting ripped into bushes or getting drug across mountainsides. It's
well, it's kiting for free flight is not only a prerequisite, but it is absolutely required, because with a motor, if you don't clip your leg straps or you don't kite perfectly, what's going to happen? You might roll, you're still going to hit the ground, but you're on the ground when you hit the ground. With free flight, you're going off the side of a cliff or a mountain, worse yet, a cliff, and bad things happen real quick, and then you're not on the ground anymore until you hit the ground, and you got the rest of your life to think about it.
Yeah. Well, and that was the discussion like I was having a couple weeks ago with some guys, where they were talking, safety margins, safety levels, because everyone wants to fly low, right? We all want to drag our toes on top of the corn. And my argument there is your safety margin is either below 15 feet or above 1200, because a fall from 15 feet is going to suck, but you're only moving at 30 kilometers an hour and you're only falling 15 feet. So it's not the best scenario, but it's definitely not the worst. Whereas if you're 100 feet and you take a collapse, there's no time for it to recover. Plus you're falling 100 feet. From 1200, you have time to either pop your wing back open and get it flying, or you have time to get a good toss on your laundry and get, hopefully some belay before you come smash into the ground.
See, I actually in between about 5 to 10 feet and then up to about 200 foot. So, that 10 foot to 200 is the absolute danger zone. And more so, the deadly zone is more like around 10 foot to about 50 foot. That's where 50, you're probably going to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you slam in hard.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah,
it's a hard smack.
that wing does not have time to start slowing you down. I mean, you can plow into the ground, but if you still got canopy above you and it's fluttering around, you're not going to hit the ground as if you jumped out at that distance. And
Right.
generally, between about 10 and 50 feet is that red zone that you're going to get hurt. You're going to hospital death. I mean, all sorts of stuff goes on. And where do I fly most of the time?
700.
In between about 5 and 25 feet.
Well, it was asked about my fixed wing flying, so I'll give you guys the quick rundown on that. I've got roughly 12 hours to date. I went yesterday and got my medical certificate filled out, signed out, and taken care of. And I have my solo stage check ride scheduled for Tuesday. So
Nice.
planning the weather is working in my favor. By Tuesday evening, I should be drinking a cold beer and celebrating a solo pilot. So
A new pilot.
Nice.
so that's where I'm at with that, guys.
That is awesome.
And I have been recording it from the GoPro. I put a mount in the airplane, so I've been getting footage and I'm saving it up. And then once I get my solo, then I'm gonna compile the footage, edit it, and then put out a start to solo, and then I'll keep going and solo on, so that way it's
Nice,
kind of broken down.
Are you going to take the plane over Kaiwanda?
Maybe. It all depends on weather. I have to do a long distance cross country solo, so it may be fun to go fly out there and go do lunch. I know like there's the Pelican Brewery is right next to the airport when you fly in, so it might be fun to fly into the Pelican Brewery and get a cup of iced tea because you can't drink and fly, but iced tea is always good.
Yeah, I
There's
put
a
that
comment here that-
Kaiwanda. I
There's a
put that
comment here in the
Kaiwanda video up.
Yeah, I saw that. That was like, yeah. Hey, Craig, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Hi, Craig. No audio.
Craig's a goldfish.
This sounds like water.
Bloop, bloop. Can't hear you, buddy.
Craig, this is why we can't have nice things, man.
But it's funny though, because I went to the flight medical thinking, oh, it would be no big deal. Like I'm a healthy guy. I don't take drugs. I don't do things. I don't drink. So it should be fairly easy to pass my medical. I'm in good condition. Well, I actually failed my medical to start with.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Ooh. I wound up having to go to the optometrist, and I'm now the proud recipient of spectacles. And on my medical, it says that I have to wear corrective lenses. So I didn't think my vision was that bad, but when he checked it, he's like, "What do you see?" And I said,
Wow.
"Just blurry stuff."
Just blurry.
Is that a runway out there? Or?
He's like, "You gotta try." I'm like, "Gotta try." Okay, I'm like AZF. Whatever, man, like make it up as we go because I don't see nothing. I didn't think it was that bad. I honestly, I never realized my vision was poor until they stuck me in the machine. It was like, oh geez Louise.
Yeah, actually,
Craig, can we hear you?
My last driver test, I had to go get my Class B for my big old rig.
Right.
And they told me the next time I come back in 4 years, I probably either wearing glasses or I better go get myself some LASIK, one or the other.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta have 20/40. I was 20/50. So
Yeah.
Craig, see if we can hear you, Craig. Say something.
goldfish.
I can read his lips. Keep talking. Dave Ruff brushed his hair today. Dave, is that true? Yeah, see, you're right, Craig. You did. What else? Keep talking, Craig. Let's see what else you can say. Do you guys know I can read lips? I can read lips. Keep talking, Craig. Let's see what else you can say. I love big butts. Okay, cool. Thanks, Craig.
Wait. He's saying something else. And he cannot lie.
Oh,
His nose is getting bigger right now.
Craig, I hope you can. I had a question I wanted to ask you, but I want you to be able to respond to it.
Blink one for yes and twice for no.
Actually, Dave, since we can't hear him, why don't you ask the question and either I or Kevin will answer it for you.
Now, this is something I just found out about Craig today. that's isn't public that I wanted to ask him about and put him on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I hear him now.
Oh, there it is.
And there he
Oh,
is.
He
Hi,
was just
Craig.
playing silent.
What's up, guys?
So a couple of things. I was gonna reach out to you today. I got so busy. I'll talk to you later about I want we'll talk later about that. Are you working on a project right now having to do with paramotor wings that you can talk about?
Yeah, wing logos.
Are you ready to talk about it or no?
Yeah, we're working on a couple of key kinks for ease of application, but I mean, for the most part, like everything else is like good to go.
So is it fishnets or Vaseline all over? What kind of kink you got?
Just the ease of application.
Yeah, I did get your message on Insta. So yeah, I'll reply to that here when we're all done and off of this.
Cool.
How are you, buddy? We missed you in Florida.
I know. I was supposed to be in New Orleans for the pool show, and just before I was leaving, something happened that kept me from going. But yeah, I missed the flying. Really wanted to go to that.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
It looked like it.
Not much flying going on. The weather was crazy, but man, you don't go to fly-ins for the flying, you go for the fun.
And you know what? The flying wasn't even that great. I mean, the landscaping it was okay.
Yeah, it actually looked
It
a
was a
lot
lot
like
of green. It wasn't too exciting, in my opinion.
I was depressed there were no gators in that water right across from the runway.
Yeah, I looked at that too. I was looking in there and made mention of that in the video that's coming out. Hey, so here's a question that came up a few moments ago. It wasn't more of a question, it was more of a statement, but I'll ask the three of you. If PPG, you had to have a license to fly, would you still fly?
Yeah.
With a license or without?
If you had to have a license to fly, would you still fly?
I'd fly anyway.
Trike flyer be a sky pirate. Yeah, I would. That's one of the
Absolutely.
reasons why I'm getting my PPL is because I honestly foresee them regulating it in the future at some point. I don't know when, but when they decide to make it regulated where you have to have at least a sport pilot license or something to that effect. I mean, they've already done it in Canada, so it's not long before something comes around. When enough people get hurt or die, they'll regulate it, and when they do, I'd rather have my license and be prepared for it.
Is Canada, you have to have a sport pilot, or is it just something totally different? I mean, I know you still have to have the numbers and stuff, but
I may have it wrong, but I think in Canada you have to have your advanced ultralight certificate.
okay.
Which means that you know the airspace and you know radios and comms, airport travel, stuff like it's just a basic knowledge thing.
X36 Hypnotized says, I've been flying for 15 years without a license, and apparently I'm supposed to have one in Canada. My LZ is the backyard and the police station.
Not anymore, since he just said something.
It's the one place that they'll never look in their own
What could go wrong?
You know, the reason why I said I'd probably fly even if a license required, I wouldn't go get one. One, I don't want to be tracked. And two, think about Alaska. Most kids up there, from what I understand, fly aircraft well before they ever drive a car.
Oh, true that.
And with all the aircraft up there in the United States, how many of them you really think have pilot's license?
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of them.
Well, look, we've spent this much money so far. What's another couple $100 a year? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not advocating go against the rules and stuff, but I do tend to agree with Kevin. I think at some point they will regulate it. I don't think it's going to be sooner. I think, but at that point too, it's kind of one of those things of I would hope they would grandfather people that have been flying for so long, that can demonstrate they've been flying for so long.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I really want to do, I mean, that's one of the lures of this. You don't need a license. You don't have to put up with a bunch of crap. Follow a few simple rules and a lot of common sense. You can go fly.
See, I realistically see them regulating it in such a way as like USHPA regulates free flying. and the FAA will implement a section that's like USPA is. It'll be, like Jeff's program with the USPPA, and you'll just have to be regulated like how free flying is regulated. So if you get stopped by the police somewhere, or by air traffic control or airport manager or whatever, then you'll be able to open your wallet and show them, here's my certificate. I'm a P3 or P4 in this, in case of motoring, you could call that regulation, M1 or M4. And
Well, here's a
depending on
question
what
for
your
you, though.
rating would depend on where you would legally be able to operate in and out of.
What about
I see the
people
power
who-
paramotor. I see power paramotoring self-regulating like free flight well before the FAA steps in.
Yeah, and what if you have to have a sports license? What if you can't get your sports license for medical reasons?
That's the joy of medical, is a sports license doesn't require a medical. Only a private requires a medical.
Okay, that's good.
But I could see them forcing all of us to start carrying ADS-B transponders, so that way we would be visible to outside aircraft.
I'd
smart.
do that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
like that idea.
I do too.
No,
What-
Well, they already have them for drones. I mean, they have those that go on drones. I don't see why they don't make them more affordable to where if somebody wanted to carry one, I
If
certainly
you want,
would.
you can get it on for free flight or for ForeFlight. So if you get the ForeFlight app for your phone or iPad, whatever, I think it's like $230. You get the ADS-B module, and you can literally just put that in your pocket, Velcro your phone to your thigh or to your lap board, whatever, and then the ForeFlight with the ADS-B actually shows you all the aircraft in your area and their altitudes.
Wow.
Really, because U Avionics has it, but it's like $1,200 to $1,800 depending on which model. I mean, yeah, it's like the size of your thumb, but
Right now,
that's a little expensive. Can you post that link of what that is you're talking about?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it on my phone. It's just the app is ForeFlight, like almost like the number, like a golf, like four, like the golf 4, and then flight, like flights, ForeFlight. It's $199 a year to subscribe, but it gives you all charts, all weather, all NOTAMs. I mean, it's everything. It's your digital flight book, and so it gives you all the information. And then, like I said, you can order the ADS-B module that pairs. It's just a Bluetooth module that pairs with your phone. And so as long as your phone has cell service, then you maintain all the services of the actual ForeFlight. And then the ADS-B works as long as it's paired to your phone. Because the GPS.
Yeah, that cell thing scares me, because a lot of the places I fly, whether it's Arizona or Louisiana, I don't have real good cell service if at all.
So is that ADS-B out?
It's ADS-B out and in.
Really?
Yep.
So
because it's GPS based off the phone. That's why I was saying your ADS-B out is based on you having cell service. The ADS-B in is based off of, or no, let me rephrase that. The ADS-B in is because of the equipment. The ADS-B out is because of the ADS-B box paired with the phone, if that makes sense. So if you lose cell service, you'll always be transmitting your signal outbound like a beacon. You just won't be able to receive the incoming information. So it's a fail-safe. It's always safer to send out your signal and not receive one than it is to get one and not send one out. So
don't they make little boxes? Kyle was talking.
I don't know. Kyle was talking about it.
You're muted.
Am I? Dave, did you mute me?
I can't mute you. I would love to mute you.
Oh, can I mute? Can I mute?
Garmin has a cell signal booster or something. What is that thing called? I forgot.
Kyle was talking about some little box or something, and I think it gives you the ability to text even if your phone loses cell signal, because it pairs to your phone and then gives you satellite.
The Garmin InReach.
InReach, that's what it is. Oh no, that's a separate unit. There's another thing that like gives you signal service.
I just posted the 4Flight link to the chat.
Well, what I'm thinking is if they make something like that, then that 4Flight would be useful because you'd never lose signal.
Once you go up to about 300 or 400 feet, your cell signal goes for miles and miles. And now with 5G, they're running 600 megahertz, which means that you get a real long range of penetration now. So
that's what she said.
No.
It's all about penetration, right, Sarah?
So
If you see this face on a milk carton later, it was her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to say missing. It's going to say found. Found dead.
So how do you think, let's talk about something else here. What do you think the growth of this sport is going to do to the sport? So if you think about this, and I was talking to Larry DeChico about this earlier, and I said in the next year, we're going to double in size the sport. When you see how many people are coming out to just view us at fly-ins. When you look at like Kyle, was probably about 3,500 subscribers a year ago, and now he's double that. We were just looking this afternoon as far as even the growth of this channel has gone from, well, Kyle was my like 76th subscriber, and that was in January, a video I put out in January, and now it's over 1,200. So the sport continues to grow. Larry is getting more and more business since this fly-on. He was telling me his phone hasn't stopped ringing. We're just going to continue to grow and grow. What do you think that'll do to the sports, both positive and negative? I like having a lot of people on to get different perspectives. So what do you think, positive, negatives of this? We're probably going to go through another growth spurt here next summer.
Yeah, I bet there will be. I don't know. It seems like as long as we keep it safe and we're self-policing, that maybe we can stay kind of under the radar for FAR 103. And then there's a comment about drones, but they're under FAR 107 commercially. Mm-hmm. So
the very first drone airspace corridor has been approved and opened up in the Northeast. It goes from the Great Lakes up to about the Massachusetts area.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, the joy of going through flight training is I'm up to speed on the charts, the airspace, and the changes. And yeah, that's one of the big ones is they're now trying to figure out how to infiltrate the regular GA airspace with drone traffic, and they're trying to put in basic airways so that way they can fly drones in a given corridor and we can avoid the corridor.
Yeah, it seems like the drones would be more of a problem than the paramotors.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a person who can see to avoid is way less dangerous than an autonomous piece of plastic flying through the air.
Yeah, and you can see the paramotor wings a hell of a lot easier than a 3-foot plastic robot.
I was flying over to Sportsman's to do some touch and goes the other day, which is a really, really small little tiny garbage airstrip. And there was a couple of my buddies were over there flying in and out of Sportsman with their paramotors. It's amazing how slow a paramotor goes when you fly past it in a Cessna.
And then the Cessna's not very fast either.
No, we were at slow flight. We only went by at 55 knots.
Found it, Dave. Also,
with a drone
pilot, drone pilots are probably going to be a lot more apt to taking chances where a paramotor pilot or any pilot that's actually physically in the airplane isn't. One, because a drone can get away with it, and two, you're not in the aircraft, so there's no repercussions for a bad choice.
It not to the drone pilot, but could be to the
yeah. That's why they'd be probably willing to take more chances because you're not going to crash, you're not going to get hurt.
No,
Somebody else could.
You get like a big salmon fishing net and hang it from below your seat, and then you go catch the drones and then sell them on eBay.
Around here, actually, I'm surprised we haven't heard any yet because the coyotes were out earlier. Around here, you hear gunshots. I used to own a drone out here, and I know for a fact that one of the country guys out here took a shot at it.
Oh yeah. I've had multiple people tell me they'll shoot my drones down, and I always laugh and tell them, if you think you can, go for it. We're within city limits. You're breaking more laws than I am.
Yeah. Now, out here, it's not uncommon to hear fully automatic gunfire.
Hey, Texas isn't quite as Texas as it used to be. There's a lot of Californians moving there.
Yeah, well, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere too, so it's you hear a gunshot, it's not because it's a drive-by, it's usually something else.
It's a hog by.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my idea of a traffic jam in the morning is because there's a 3-cow pile up on the backcountry road.
Exactly.
Or
That's
you
not
got
even.
you got two old codgers and pickup trucks opposing each other, having a conversation, and you don't honk. You just sit there and wait, or get out of your truck and go join the conversation.
You bring the coffee pot to them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the first car accident I ever got into that was a bad one was when I was living in Texas. We were going from Corpus to Houston. I was working for HEB doing the walk-in beer coolers. It was about 3:30 in the morning, and we came over a rise and smacked a cow at about 55 miles an hour. Never even saw it coming. Just hammered us.
Yeah, and those are bad. And the horses, well, like elk out in Oregon, you hit an elk, a cow, or a horse, it's bad because it doesn't go into your grill. It goes into your windshield.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can get pretty spooky around here sometimes when the cows get out.
My father-in-law just brought home a big old 8x8 elk. He just came back from elk hunting like 2 days ago.
I went elk hunting once. When I shot this elk, it was on level ground. It was level ground for 14 miles around it. I shot, hit that elk, knew I hit it, and then all of a sudden the terrain changed to the most straight down that elk could find, and went down like 14 miles down this crevasse. God, I will never go elk hunting again because of that.
Yeah, they keep bugging me to bring my gear out all the way. Freaking, they go 9 hours away into the middle of eastern Oregon. They want me to bring my gear out there, go fly around, spot everything, and come back, tell them all where it's at.
Illegal.
Yeah, that's what I told. I was like, no. Can't fly.
I'm pretty sure you can do that out here with hog, but you can't do it with deer. Although every time I fly around here, I always see deer.
See all kinds of stuff when I fly. Amazing what you see when you go flying. Out here, I've actually, because we fly a lot on the coast, the coastal range in Oregon has black bears. I've seen a bunch of black bears flying around. It's pretty cool.
That was my first black bear kill, was out there in Florence. That's where I got them. There are tons of black bear out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I programmed cell phone towers professionally, and then I was sitting there. I went out to the coast to go program one, and one of my managers tells me, he goes, "Hey, when you go out there," he says, "make sure that you hang out inside your truck." And I was like, whatever. I bring a lawn chair. So I sit down in a lawn chair, and I got a little plastic fold-out camping table, and I got my computer out, and I'm programming away and doing my work. The next thing I know, I hear a bunch of rummaging behind me. I turn around, look over my shoulder, and there's a freaking 500-pound sow. It's just on the other side of the fence going through the blackberries. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll hang out in the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, my first bear kill out there was out in Florence. It was with a bow. And one of the most spookiest things, back in those days, you were allowed to bait them. So we get those big old 55-gallon barrels and go get Hostess products and stuff those things. We'd chain them down. Donuts. And we'd watch bears come in there and just take a claw on a full 55-gallon barrel that's got to weigh 500-600 pounds and just hit it with their claw and flip it, and they go out, hit the chain and crash. And I mean, most beautiful creatures you've ever watched, but man, I would not want to tick one off.
Whatever you've done, Ruff's always done one bigger or better.
What?
I love the comments.
The chat.
Oh, I can't see the comments.
I think somebody's referring to you as being a one-upper there, Dave.
No. Hey, I'm older, man. Come on. You guys are a bunch of young bucks.
They're giving me a hard time, Dave.
Here's the thing. Okay, so Kevin had a 500-pound bear. My first bear kill was only 350. Okay, there you go.
Hey, I was speculating. I didn't pick her up, so
Craig, have you been flying at all?
I'm not a hunter. If I'm hunting, that means I'm hunting around what aisle I need to get my food from at the grocery store. That's about as much hunting as I do.
Craig, have you been flying at all?
I did a flight the other day, but
You did?
it was
No.
for a few minutes. It was too cold. We got a cold snap here. It was like came down to like 24 degrees or something.
Wow.
And the day before it was like 50, but with the lack of wind came that cold, so it wasn't very enjoyable.
Okay.
So
when you're going down to Florida.
When you say cold, what's cold?
I'm sorry, 1 second, Kevin. What's that, Craig?
39 days left.
Oh, you're not counting or anything, are you?
Oh no.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I mean, like I've flown 20 degrees, but I was ready for it. And the other day it just came so fast that I wasn't really prepared. So
Okay.
20,
Is that the
20
first time in how long that you've flown?
What's that?
How long has it been since you've flown?
I don't know, like a week.
Okay, so you're flying fairly often then, right?
I try.
That's good. That's good. What were we gonna ask, Kevin?
Oh, I was just asking what cold is referred to as cold. Yeah, I was asked this yesterday by someone who flies in Arizona, and they said, "Oh, you fly in Portland and you go in the winter. That's got to be cold." And I laughed. I said, "It's not even cold." I said, "We're having a warm front. It's 43." Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, in the 20s it's cold.
All right, Kevin, not to one up each other.
Yeah.
19 degrees. That's the coldest I've gone.
The coldest I've done is -6.
Holy, that's
Jeez.
insane, man.
Yeah, the gorge here in Oregon gets butt cold, like butt,
Wow.
because you get the high desert cold that flows down into the valley and compresses, and that cold just funnels in, and you just sit right in an ice chest. But it's great flying. It's just laminar smooth, and you just have a blast. You just gear up head to toe and go for it.
Screw that.
It's like it's one of the only times you land and you actually have icing conditions on your paramotor wing.
Wow.
No. 40 degrees. No.
Yeah, I've actually landed and had Rhine on my wing before.
No kidding. Oof.
Yeah, because the condensation from the river, because you got the Columbia River flows through there, so the Columbia is warmer than the air, so you get convection fog that rises from the valley, and then it's not dense enough to stop your visibility from flying, but it is definitely dense enough to put rime in the air, and so as you fly, it deposits those ice crystals onto the leading edge of your wing, and when you land, it's like leaving your wing out overnight to get dew frost on it.
Well, let me tell you something about the Columbia River. I mean, being Grizzly Adams, I mean, I know the Columbia River.
Sure.
Dave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back up on my damn computer, have control over shit.
No, but I mean, flying cold like that is only because it's flyable and the conditions are what they are. I mean, we don't purposefully.
I don't know if you all know this. Dave used to be an actor. Dave, were you ever in like any like DC comic movies like Spider-Man or anything like that back in like 2002?
He was the drowning victim on Baywatch.
What's so funny? It's good.
The highlight of the show is when Pamela did CPR on him.
There you go. Were you on Baywatch?
I enjoyed it.
Were you on Baywatch, really?
Anyway, Dave. Let's just move on.
He was Hobie's stunt double.
All right.
Dave has questions now.
I'm gonna get my ass handed to me the next time Dave's hosting a show.
Hey, Dave, do you shoot guns?
Yes, sir. Do I shoot guns?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Why?
Oh.
Although I was thinking about getting my license this December.
He's just checking if you can shoot.
You know how everything
comes to get you.
You know how everything's larger in Texas, right?
That's what they say.
This is what we use to shoot mice out here.
Oh wow. There's a swamp.
Hold on.
rats.
Hold on. I'll show you my mouse gun.
I'll show you my mouse gun.
Look at this.
It weighs about 40 pounds.
Holy crap.
He calls it his compensator.
Wow.
Oh, you want to see the compensator?
It's parked in the
That's-
driveway. It's 47 foot of motorhome.
That's my hand. That's the compensator. Now,
Wow.
you know what happens when you tick off a Texas woman, Dave?
A Texas woman?
Uh-huh.
What's that? She got a taser?
You get to Dr. Watts.
So, oh, good. You changed my name. Ah, that tickled. No, with that. Oh, good. My name's back. All right, cool.
He says a 50 cal and a Corvette. Yep, definitely a small PP.
Oh, so, okay. Tell you what. Let me show you one other thing, Kevin. So out here we have hog problems.
Yeah.
Let me show you the hog gun. Here, let me put this 50 away. Hold on.
Is that a Barrett?
Muse,
Or a Browning?
Muse till Dave wants to know if that's called foreplay.
All right, out here we have hog problems. So
And
Wow.
for all of you people at home that are worried of Democrats, you'll notice that he has all of these locked up safely in a safe.
Wow.
yeah, you see what's on the front of that AR-10?
The M203.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually, if you go to my video from the flying circus, you'll see that one go full auto. Oh, they're legal too, so
Well, it's Texas. Everything's legal in Texas.
yeah, pretty much. So Dave, you need to
Yes,
come
sir.
out.
Yes,
You
sir.
need to come out and come fish my lake and come shoot guns.
I would love to.
Well, pack up the wife and the kids and let's go.
Do I have to bring the wife and the kids?
Have you ever used dynamite?
No.
That's how we go fishing.
I
All
got
right.
this. This is a Masters AR wrench.
Nice.
And then I got the roll pin punches, lightweight gas block for the AR, low profile gas block for the AR-10.
I just wanted to clarify. This is a paramotoring show, correct? I'm just lost.
This
Oh,
one's
hold on.
for
Okay, you know
lights.
what? You want to start re-upping or you want to start one-upping, that's okay.
Oh,
I
God.
got
Here,
something for you.
Craig, just let me know when the testosterone is over.
This one's mine. That's the M&P 10 308. We don't have hogs, but if they show up, I'll take care of them.
I got a kid's boxing glove.
Dude, that is literally about all I'll ever need, I think. I think you got it right there, Dave. Conceal that baby and pull it out whenever shit gets rough.
That's what she said.
That is exactly what she said.
All right, here we go. Let's hold out the truck gun.
You got to turn on some light. All we see is like a little bit of your forehead.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna bring it into the light. It's an SBR.
Oh, this just turned into an NRA show.
No.
My gun's bigger than yours.
While I'm just waiting for Craig to get up and go get something that's gonna blow your minds away.
Oh yeah. All right, hold on.
I don't
Here we
have
go.
guns.
Craig's in the corner with that old bull, young bull look going on right now. He's like, you guys all get one, I'll get the rest. Don't worry.
There you go. little
Is that a
SBR.
pistol?
Yeah, it's a 9mm SBR.
What do you fly with, Dave?
That
They use-
actually.
That's what I figured.
just in case he lands in the wrong field, he can defend himself.
No, actually, honestly, if I fly and I know I'm going down in areas where there's hog and stuff like that, I'll fly with a 40 cal or a 10mm.
Just for the record, Dave, I can't get up right now.
Okay. You're not wearing pants, are you?
I'm wearing pants. I was not wearing a leg.
Oh, okay.
All right, back off to paramotoring. So what gun do you carry when you fly? I carry a 50 cal Barrett, you know.
It's ballast. I'm a little light on this wing.
Actually, that thing has such a good brake compensator. If I mounted it to my trike and actually shot it, if you could do that legally, I doubt that it would knock you out of the air.
Technically, you could do it legally because the FAR says that you just can't present problems to people or property on the ground. And so as long as you weren't presenting problems to people or property on the ground, you should be fine.
I own 16 acres.
So our warrior asked if his time is up. Can he come back and talk now?
As long as you're not going to be intrusive and not in a playful nature, you're welcome to join the conversation.
Craig Taylor has the wrench. It's up to him now.
Craig has the wrench.
All are welcome. Welcome back to Pi Gamma.
I guess then now is the good time to ask, are you subscribed to take Craig Taylor's channel?
Oh my gosh.
Where I missed that one, Kevin.
Oh, he says, you got the wrench. I said, now is a good time to ask, are you subscribed to his channel? Do you want the get out of jail free card? You need to subscribe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's not much on that channel.
So have you got the exhaust bracket fixed on your Atomata yet? You replaced it?
No, I haven't. So I turned in the I should have just someone had, and I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Someone bought one from somewhere and it was only $31 for the part, and I should have just done that instead of going through the whole warranty. But I submitted that to Aviator, and I'm just waiting for that.
I had a little secondary thought after I saw that in the video. That bracket, and then Kyle in his most recent video showed a real quick clip of that exact spot in that exact bracket. Because of its shape, it looks like it would almost be beneficial to have it be made out of like an old piece of tire, so it had vibration goodness in it. Because it seems like the metal broke due to vibration fatigue.
Kevin, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's also made out of pot metal. It looked cast. It wasn't like forged, which really stunned me. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, holy cow, I can't believe it broke right there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a very cheap piece, but I flew last night. I just zip tied the damn thing together and flew it again. The scary thing was I put 5 zip ties on it when I landed. I looked at it and there was 3 of them broken. So I got some thicker zip ties.
When Travis said that, I was like, well, yeah, if I was in an Icarus, that's exactly what I would do. And when you took off, I was like, man, I hope he doesn't fly all that long. When he came back and they were still intact, I looked at Travis like, God, that worked.
Duct tape. More duct tape.
Well, he said if you don't have, and Kyle said that the other, if you don't have at least 2 zip ties on your paramotor, then it's not a paramotor.
That's true. I got
How
quite a
many
few
hours are on that motor?
9.
What?
Yeah, it's brand new.
9.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying I think that bracket should be made out of rubber and not metal. Just
insane.
Such
and
low
let me tell
hours
you,
to have it break.
As a person that was there that watched him take off and then heard that thing let go, let me brag on my friend David Wolf. He handled that landing beautifully.
Oh, thanks.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Derek Trout says Viterazzi metal strikes again.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Italians are buying it from the Asians.
Actually, I just got myself that Moster on that McFly, and I'm probably going to talk to Kyle tomorrow about upgrading or finding out where I can upgrade that exhaust pipe before it breaks.
Yeah.
and just take that one off and just upgrade it so that we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah,
You should send Tucker a message and see where he got that ceramic pipe. That one's supposedly is the new hotness because the ceramic coating helps to keep the thermal regulation better in the metal.
I did see Kyle's video. I just watched it today on the crack pipe video that he did about a week ago with the glass. Glass is supposed to be 10 times stronger.
Yeah, that's the ceramic. That's the ceramic coating. That's the
that's
ceramic
it?
coated
Okay.
pipes. Yeah, that's what he's referring to.
Someone asked before about what do you think of your Nitro 200? Dave, you've had a Nitro 200. I've flown the Nitro 200. And that person, I think, I'm trying to go back and see who it was, said they just bought a Nitro 200.
I now have about 90, 95 hours on my Nitro, and I absolutely love it. The only thing that I'm having problems with, I had problems at 26 hours, and now I'm having problems again, is the wiring harness. I'm pretty sure the copper wires are work hardening and splitting because of the vibration, because the electric start is intermittent on it. And that's actually what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is get up and just go make new wires for it and hook everything back together. But other than that, I mean, it's run flawlessly. It's great power. It flies great. Mine weighs about 67 pounds with about 7 liters in it with the reserve. So, and we did that thrust test. The thrust test on that Nitro with the 3-blade was like 136 pounds, and the 2-blade was like 135. So it's not the 165 that they claim.
You know, the one thing that I find to be fun is that nobody to date that I have found it operates in the same aftermarket realm, like in the dirt bike world. Like you can't go get a pro circuit or FMF exhaust for your paramotor. I think somebody in the machining and milling world should start working on that.
You probably get some real good money in that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, because how many Viterazzi pipes crack? Wouldn't it be nice to know you could get an FMF pipe or a pro circuit pipe or a DG pipe, or, you know, the dirt bike world is, you know, there's dozens of different manufacturers of exhausts you could get for your Banshee or your Raptor or whatever you got. So, you know, for paramotors, your motor selections are pretty mainstream for the mainstream motors. You got the Polinis, you've got the Moster, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. So if somebody, I wish I had the materials and the time, I'd do it myself. But if somebody could make an aftermarket pipe out of maybe thicker metal or a different bend or a different mold, different weld, you know, I'm not an engineer, so I'm just spitting off the cuff, but it would be really cool to see someone from the aftermarket side make some of these products. So that way we don't have to rely directly on Dell or Viterazzi or Kurt to get some of this stuff going. You could have an aftermarket niche to get into. I mean, we've got Larry and the Bag Later making stuff sacks and bags. Everyone enjoys those. Why not pipes and stuff?
Yeah, it's actually a really good idea.
Everybody loves Chris bags. She's got a great set of bags. She really does.
I have to agree with you.
And someone in the comments said that Tucker's ceramic pipe already cracked. So I haven't seen that yet. But if it's been said, it's on the internet. It must be true.
But like Derek Trout says, yeah, one that makes it quieter. I always say if you could put the Atom 80 exhaust on the 185, it would be an awesome motor.
Well, I don't know, when Dave's exhaust fell off, it sounded like it got about 45 more cc's to the motor.
Yeah, it went from an 80 to a 280 real fast.
Stupid
like
me is going, I can still fly. There's nothing wrong here.
It's like
He
putting
got
stickers on a Honda.
Lightline's attention too. We're
What's that?
sitting there talking. I watched him take off, and off he goes. And we start talking. All of a sudden, bruh, the whole flight line just turned right to him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, they were expecting your prop to go into pieces, to turn into popcorn.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, hit the button, hit the button.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I looked back and I could see we were separated. I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. I'm like, wait a minute. This thing could go in. Let's find a place to land right now. And at first I couldn't land right away because I was going to be like, you know, right by the planes there. And I didn't want to take that chance. So
Yeah, you were right over the tarmac.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Have you done a asphalt landing yet, Dave?
No, I haven't.
When you do, your brain's going to play a lot of oh hell with you. Just
Yeah.
treat it like a grass landing. You'll be fine. But you'll
Okay.
psych yourself out because it's cement.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I should do that. I haven't even done it on wheels yet.
My first time ever landing on asphalt was at an airport out in Oregon. And was that California or was it Oregon? It was Mount Shasta. So I guess that would be California.
Okay.
And I was coming in, I was looking at the tarmac going, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I was like, wait, just relax. This is just a normal landing. And I got down just fine, landed on my feet, ran it out. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, you go down on that, it's going to hurt. So your brain will tell you all sorts of stuff. Just treat it like any other landing. You'll be okay.
Foot drag landings on asphalt are my absolute favorite.
Really?
Oh yeah, just come in hot and fast and slide her on in because you're already right there and you got lots of energy. So it's even surface. There's no ups or downs. There's no potholes. There's none of that junk to have to worry about. You can just slide in hot, put your feet down, and you're done. Just not as good for the wing is all because it comes down on asphalt instead of grass. But as long as you're not dragging it, it's not that big a deal.
Not good on your shoes too. My last pair of shoes, actually I used Gorilla Tape on them for the longest time because I was foot dragging them. So I kept on putting Gorilla Tape on them so I could keep on foot dragging.
So taking Chad B asked about taking off on asphalt. Any difference there either? I would think not. I mean, the wing is laying on asphalt. It's not getting scraped unless you're dragging it, which you're not because it pops right up.
Yeah, you do drag it a little bit on the initial pull up. It's really not good for it, but it's not different at all in any way, shape, or form.
It's just a little extra tension because the wing normally has to drag along before it comes up. And when you set the wing down, a lot of times it'll just collapse and lay on the asphalt. So launching, I think, is a little more abrasive than landing.
Yeah.
Not by a lot. It's marginal. It's marginal, but it, in my opinion, it's just slightly more damaging to launch than land.
Bottom line is with the motors, with exhaust, with anything, and I was just talking about this to someone new today. I said, if you get into the sport, you're not expecting things to break, then you shouldn't get into the sport because all you're going to be is frustrated all the time. So just get used to it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, in this sport, you're going to learn how to work on two strokes. You're going to learn how to replace lines, which I just got taught how to do. You're going to start learning about wings. You're going to start learning about, everything. And you're going to be your own mechanic.
But you're going to have fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more simple that, you just go outside, not right now, but if it was daytime, you go outside, lay your wing out, put your motor on, warm it up, clip in, and go fly. I mean, it's that easy.
I think somebody in the comments has this really, really mixed up. They said flying equals crashing with a smiley face. I don't think they know what they're doing if that's their takeaway.
No.
Flying is ideally never crashing.
Yeah.
Right. No, we don't want to crash.
Although it would be fun to have one of those big Velcro walls and then put on the fun suit and fly, into it.
The one and only time I ever sat in my seat on takeoff, like Dave does all the time, when I went down into the hard pan in Arizona and kicked up that dust. It's in video. Although you might confuse me with Paramotor Crazy, but it is me doing that one. And I kind of laughed about it. I thought it was pretty funny.
Did you ever see a man slam his helmet to the ground, almost breaking his GoPro? Just curious if anybody's ever seen that before.
I thought we were waiting for that footage.
Yeah, I wish you did. Well, you know what? Your camera was probably recording. I'd like to see that, Dave.
Oh, it is. Actually, it's on this computer right here. I watched it just last night. I don't know if I ever want to release it.
That'd be awesome. You could do it in slow-mo. Even Gorilla slow-mo'd himself falling off the one wheel. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't know he fell off of it. I know that I did, but it wasn't recorded.
Did he do that wearing the dinosaur suit, or was he not wearing the dinosaur suit?
No, he was just regular clothes. But I do have a picture of you laying on the ground on my next video with falling off the one wheel.
Oh, that was fun, man. I was laughing about
Dave
that.
falls off the one wheel. You see me and Rick running from 2 different directions trying to get our video cameras started.
Yeah, not hey Dave, did you break a hip? Or hey, are you okay? Hey, do you need a
Doesn't
hand
matter.
up? It was, oh damn, my camera wasn't running.
Yeah.
You ought to know the way the internet works now. Laugh first, sympathy later.
Yeah. That's
It's not
right.
like-
Actually,
No.
Rick did ask if I was okay. I was like, oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just bleeding, a couple broken bones. I'll be okay. I'll shake it off.
Yeah, it's funny we're flying. People are just watching to see who's crashing and who's breaking props, but yet if you're not recording, it's like, what's the point?
I got a real good prop break on camera.
Was it Ripa?
I don't know who it was, but he pulled the wing up. It started going hard right, and then he tripped and like went face down, and it shattered the wood prop.
That was Ripa.
Was
I'm
it
pretty
Ripa?
sure that's Ripa. Yeah, because he showed me his wooden prop was busted up.
Yeah, I got that on camera. I'm gonna slow that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, slow-mo guy, watch that prop. It came apart catastrophically.
That was a fun one.
That's actually why one of the reasons, and I know it sounds sick, but that's actually one of the reasons why I get up in the air first to go fly. And then when people start getting up in the air, I come in to land. One, because unless I know the people, I really don't like flying with a bunch of other people. I get enough of that in free flight. But 2, you land, pull the camera out to watch everybody come back in.
Yeah.
That's where you get footage.
Well, I get in the habit of just hitting the record button before I even go out to the field and not stopping it until I'm done flying, until I'm done with everything. Because that's kind of cool. You know, land, watching all the people flying still in the air. That's pretty cool. Yeah. It's amazing the controlled chaos of these fly-ins, you know? It looks like it's a mess up there, but again, you got to remember these people are hundreds of yards apart from each other. They just look like they're right on top of each other. As you're coming in, you're watching one person land in front of you and just kind of pick your spot and go to it.
Man, you want to see sheer chaos, come over to the coast and see what happens to the ridge when you get 75 free-flying pilots on one ridge.
Yeah.
Nope. I flew with, it had to have been 20, maybe 30 at Point of the Mountain. And that was where I got my education of flying in close with people. And I became okay with it, but it's still spooky. It just takes one person not paying attention.
When we had our last fly-in, the Pine Mountain fly-in, we had 62 wings in the air at one time.
Heck with that.
It was amazing. It was like Star Wars. You got like half the crowd's flying straight at you. You look over your shoulder, half the crowd's behind you, chasing you.
Jeez. I'd probably do it once just to experience it, and that would be about it.
Well, like anything else, you know, you're going to know 3 or 5 of the pilots in the huge gaggle of people. And so you, even like when you do your conversation circles when you're not flying, you get into these small little gaggles. And so this little group of 3 or 5 guys kind of goes this way, and this group of 3 or 5 guys kind of goes that way. And you all intersect at some point, but you take these little niches and you go off. And as you do, everybody's kind of looking out for everyone. And it's like you said, it's orchestrated chaos, but it's tons of fun. Walking, you get right to the point where you can walk across someone's wing as you go by. It's like, yeah, I see you, buddy.
You know, it's funny because like John's in the chat says he's only flown with one other person once, and it's, you see where we're at because we've got this group and we've talked a lot about this in months past with the tri-state Skywalkers here in southwestern Ohio. We're always flying in groups now. I rarely fly by myself anymore. It's usually with 2 or 3 other people. So, and we're always, just looking out for each other. If one person goes down, we can land and go pick them up. It's, takes that whole fear out too of what happens if I go down, who's going to help me out. So that's nice. And then, it makes for great video, just watching other people flying, seeing what they're doing. It's fun to do that. Dave, you got to fly with us and you know what it's like. And
flying in groups of people that I know, or I know people that know the other people, that doesn't bother me. There could be 50 of them up there as long as we kind of all, know each other. I know what to expect. But, again, Point of the Mountain or, out in Prineville, did you say? Or Pine Mountain?
Yeah, Pine Mountain. It's over by Bend.
Yeah, no, I know exactly where that is. When you start getting out there and start putting that many wings in the air, and you really don't know the people, it's a fly-in, it's controlled chaos. You got new pilots, you got old pilots, you got crazy pilots, you got safe pilots. That type of stuff scares me.
Yeah, a couple of the guys went XC and they took off, went almost 75 miles, stayed the night in a hotel and got an Uber ride back the next morning.
See, that would be me. I would get up off the ground. It's like at this last fly-in, I got up early, and then next thing you know, there were probably 20, 30 pilots up in the air, after me. And then I came in early to come watch them land. I usually get up and get out. Or, like you said, I'll go find, like I was looking for Dave, I was looking for Rick, I was looking for Nicole. If I can find them, then I'll go follow them around. But other than that, I'd be just one of those guys, just go fly off and go do a cross country or something.
See, I leave the hill, go way out over the valley, and then I just because of the conditions the way it is, it's tons of free lift the way the valley glasses off, and you can sit and practice spirals, you can practice wing overs, you can practice beeline stalls. I mean, you can practice whatever you want to practice, and it's free. It's freebie. You actually climb while doing wing overs.
Yeah.
And it's one of those deals where you look over your shoulder, you make sure you're clear and you're far away from everyone, and you just have as much fun as you want. And if you
Crest
start
line.
the hill, you just go right back to the hill, climb right back up, do it all over again.
Crestline out in California, Marshall Mountain, Andy
Mhm.
Jackson Flight Park. Crestline's the same way. Glass is off. It's all free lift.
Yeah, I was just talking to my wife. She was saying, well, what do you want for Christmas? And my birthday follows right behind Christmas. I said, I was like, all I want is to get a plane ticket. I want to go down to California, go visit my folks, go hang out with Robert, go fly Blossom, go fly Saboba, go fly Marshall. Like, you know what I mean? It's like just make that whole southern circle because it's going to be winter. No better place to go than south for the winter time, right?
No, wait until you fly Saboba, man. It's
I grew up there.
amazing.
I grew up
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Craig, how long are you going to be in Florida for?
Month of January.
And don't you have a place down there?
Yeah, in Winter Haven.
Okay, you're only going to be down there for the month. That's it.
Yeah, that was hard enough to take that month off, but it's kind of a balance between owning and running the business and everything else that's going on. So
okay,
I was
Are any of
trying
you-
for two, but I'll take
Yeah.
a month.
Are any of you plan on doing Palm Bay in March? No, Kevin, Dave, maybe.
No, I won't. I'll be out in Arizona. I'm doing Salton Sea and flying circus.
I was thinking I'm not going to come down there because it's a long drive. It's also a busy time of the year for me. But maybe just going down on a Saturday, just flying down there just for the day to hang out. I was thinking about doing that. That might be fun. Just
Oh,
take
you'd be
one. I
able
don't
to
even
find a
use it.
motor and a wing, I'm sure.
I don't even care. I just want to hang out and see everybody.
Well,
And
you know the way
reconnect with my-
fly-ins. You know the way fly-ins work. The minute you get there, you're gonna have 4 people hug you, and someone's gonna walk over and say, "Fly my stuff." It's not even
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be a
true.
question. They're just gonna tell you to do it. It's just.
I was
That's
actually
true.
going to talk to Dave about that. The other fly-ins that I've done, my channel wasn't that big, but as I'm starting to get known, I did find with Florida that people were like, hey, come fly my wing, or hey, you can
Yeah.
fly my motor. It was the
Andrew?
weirdest feeling.
Yeah, that's something that happened to me too. People were offering.
Yeah.
So,
It's just, it was weird.
yeah.
I don't know.
I do like the idea. If Craig and Kevin, if you get a chance, Dave came up with this idea. I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of a good idea. It really was a great idea. The Paramotor Nation banner. I thought that was so neat. Everybody's signing it. Everybody was excited to sign it. He's going to take it to Salton Sea and Flying Circus and then auction it off. And Craig Taylor will probably end up buying it. I told you that too, didn't I, Dave? I said Craig
Yeah.
Taylor will end up buying
he
it.
did.
Right. So that money will go to Resurgence, and then we'll do it one next year. Just get a ton of signatures on it. What a great idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand deliver it at Bad Apples, and probably the night before Bad Apples is over, that's when we'll do the auction.
Okay.
When's the Bad Apples flying? February?
No, that's in May, middle of May.
May.
That'll be a great one.
Yeah, I've got a big salute for Todd and Resurgence, and then if you guys don't know, it's Operation Airtime. is the equivalence of what Todd does, but
Yeah.
for the free flying community. Really,
Yeah,
really
Chris-
good people doing good things. I stand
Yeah, we
behind
talked
it.
a lot about that with Chris Santa Croce
Mhm.
being at the fly-in this past weekend. In fact, I think they had Carson, who was one of the organizers, his father-in-law, I believe, made these benches, um, motor mount benches, I guess they were, and to auction off or to sell, I think it was, and that money went to Operation Airtime.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's tough to. I mean, you have two great organizations you want to do.
Well, we've got a resurgence
Oh, I'm
candidate.
sorry. Hold on, let me check my email. Sorry about that. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
We've got another resurgence candidate that we're sponsoring for the January class. While we're down there, they'll be around and he'll get in the air, and hopefully everything will work out with that. But yeah, I mean,
That's really cool.
we try to do what we can.
Yeah.
But I could buy the banner and put it with Lori Kadakis's gloves and put it back to the community for
You know
more
what? You're not
fundraising.
allowed. No, you are not allowed to say that you're getting the banner already. Okay, you got to give everybody else a chance. Man.
The question is it a silent
Otherwise, I'll just run the
auction?
price on you.
It has to be a silent auction.
No, it's
I
not a silent
actually-
auction. It's when Craig's saying, "I'll keep bidding more." It's not fun like that.
I was actually thinking about reaching out to Mark Honeycutt, Elena, Tucker, Jacqueline, those people, and seeing if either I can meet them or I can send that banner to them to have them signed and brought back. So I want to get as many of the paramotor community, the YouTubers, stuff like that, signing this sucker.
That's a good idea.
I'm putting the login and the password in case anybody wants to join us. Walter wanted to. We can have a group chat. I mean, why not? It's already past midnight.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really
Where
is.
you live.
Oh.
Where you live.
You live.
It's 11:14.
That's okay. I was literally having a chat with a buddy of mine from New Zealand, and he's like, "Oh wait, I gotta go," and I'm like, "You gotta go?" He's like, "Dinner's on the table." He's like, "Wait a minute." He's like, "You're in the U.S." He's like, "What day is it?" And I'm like, "Well, it's Saturday." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "It's dinner time on Sunday for me." It's like, yeah, a little bit of a time gap there, buddy.
When I was in the military, I went over to the Philippines back when Subic Bay was still open. And I left, if I recall correctly, I left Thanksgiving out of Philippines, flew into Hawaii, and re-celebrated Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
International Dateline.
My wife did that when she came back from Russia. She left on a Tuesday, flew for 26 hours, and landed on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, it screwed my body up for a few days.
Yeah, I imagine that would be the case. But it's really cool. He left here last week. He's he's a manager of a bicycle shop there, and then he gets his room and board paid for by the bike shop, and then gets to go fly anytime he's not working. I'm like, oh, you poor guy.
It's a rough life. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing, Kevin, when I come out, it's probably gonna be like May or June. It's probably gonna be more like June when I come out to get that stuff in Washington.
Yeah.
As we're driving it back from Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, I'm thinking of stopping every 100 miles or the closest rest stop that's flyable, getting out and flying that rest stop and filming it, of course. And then when I get back, do the whole filming the rest stop circuit.
That would be a totally different way of putting out a vlog.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about doing it. Not only live, but also, recording it, making a video.
With as much driving as you do, I don't know why you're not trying to hit every state, mark off every state as a state you've flown from.
Oh, that's funny you say that.
Because?
Sarah, did you hear that?
Oh yeah, I heard that. Made me smile.
So Sarah,
We're on that.
yeah, we're on that actually. So Sarah came up with an idea about 6-7 months ago of why don't you do a flight in every single state? I've been to 49 of the 50, not flying, but just traveling. And I have folders on my computers slowly checking off. And when I hit the first 15, I'll release that video. And it's got to be two flights in every state.
So which one did you miss?
The only state that I have never been in has been Alaska.
Yeah, that's what Harley Milne is doing right now is the X50 challenge.
Yeah, he just was. Go ahead, Craig. Why don't you talk about Thursday night show?
Harley Milne was on Robert Michaels Paragliding Talk Thursday, and he's doing an X50 challenge for Resurgence fundraising, or part of Resurgence fundraising. He's trying to fly all 50 states, so he's got Hawaii out of the way. And now he's back into the 48, and he's in California. And he's going to work his way across.
I've got family in Hawaii, so Hawaii's easy. So anybody watching this now live or after the fact, if you live in a state, if you want to send me a message and show me a flying spot when I come around, I would like to do it. I think that I'll have to watch that. I didn't watch the podcast on Thursday, so I'll have to go back and watch that.
I got a place I can show you in Ohio.
Okay.
You'll be here 2 months next year, anyways.
Yeah, I'll be back in Ohio next year. I think I know somebody in Oregon.
I got a handful of places I could take you between Washington and Oregon. So.
Well, what's funny is if I go hit Washington, I could literally hit Washington, Idaho, Oregon, Nevada, California, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and then into Texas on the way down. It wouldn't be that hard to do.
No, not really.
So, and what's funny too is a lot of comments have been made over about the past month or two. They're like, Dave, with all your traveling and stuff like that, why aren't you doing the whole van life tour thing? And I'm like, well, because it's already being done. And
who's doing it?
I hadn't thought about it.
No, you can do the RV life tour.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, we've been playing with the idea. So
we'll call it upscale van life.
Upscale van life. Here's a 40-foot Tiffin Phaeton 4-slide diesel pusher. I'm just winging it out here.
Roughing it. Just roughing it along.
Roughing it with rough.
I think the first time I tried to take that down some of the trails that Tucker did, I'd be in some big problems.
That's it right there. I think we just named the next video chain. Roughing it with
rough. Roughing it with rough.
RUFF''N, roughing it.
There you go. I like it.
Hopefully my next big video will be the Civ and will be the tandem certification, instructor certification.
You're going to Florida first, and then you're going to go over and see Brad. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. So Brad reached out to me about a month ago and said, hey, are you available like next week or next month or something? I said, no, I'm not until the spring. And he said, well, tell you what, in the springtime, go ahead and email me and we'll fit you in. So he stepped up. Awesome. It was a huge miscommunication. That's where we'll just say that's what it was. So yeah, I'm going to a Civ class in Florida in January, and then I'll take my second Civ in Utah. And then I'm also doing the tandem certification with One Up as well when I'm in Florida taking the first Civ. Yeah. So got some good stuff going. Whether or not I'll ever become an instructor, I have no idea. I really want the tandem just to have the availability of it.
Do you have
want to become how many people really want to become an instructor? Do you really?
Yeah.
The thought scares the shit out of me. It really does.
Not me. See, I thoroughly, it's something about the way that I deliver happiness is by watching other people grow and other people light up. It's like being a parent and watching my own kids do it. It's fantastic feeling. Yeah. And I love taking people who or having a hard time with kiting or having a hard time with launching, and doing a minor critique of whatever their technique is, whether it's not putting enough weight on a chest strap or not getting your body posture correct, and working them through it. And when you can see that launch click and they just make it easy, and they come back and land, they give you a hug, shake your hand, and tell you, oh my God. And from there on, they're a more proficient pilot. Or maybe they've never touched a wing and it's their first day, and you get them over the hump of being scared of it, and they quit being scared and start having fun. That energy to me is infectious, and I love seeing people grow.
Kevin, I agree with you there. It's just, to me, it doesn't seem like the pace supports the work.
Well, it's a labor of love. See, I don't ever go to instruct anybody or coach anybody because someone says there's something for me to gain out of it. I do it because it's for me. It's what I like to do. I like to see people grow, and when I see someone having a hard time, it actually gives me anxiety, and I almost feel obligated to help them have an easier day.
See, that's a real instructor right there.
No, I'm in it for the money.
I agree.
I'm in it for the money.
I think it's one and the same. I think they come together. I think if you're a good instructor and your heart's in the right spot, then people will come to you. It's why Kyle has become so popular, because he's a genuine person and he's there to genuinely see you get into the air safely. Not just because
he's a big jerk. Stop sucking up to him.
Hey, he served me beer and tacos. What can I say?
No, I agree with you. I've taught people how to kite, and that was fine. It's my disconnect with it right now is going from the kiting to actually getting them their first solo. The thought of that and the responsibility of that right now is what scares me.
The only thing that scares me in that aspect is the what am I saying? The unforeseeable. I can't see that there's going to be a collapse. I can't see that there's going to be a throttle cable break. I can't, there's certain things I can't know that are going to happen ahead of time. That does leave me a little unsettled. But at the same time, I mean, you wouldn't, my takeaway is I have to come at this from the mentality of, you wouldn't be here trying to undertake this sport if you didn't honestly understand the risks involved. So if you didn't understand that the risk is actual death because your body is actually leaving the ground, then me and you need to go and have a sit down heart to heart about what the real consequences are of what we're doing today.
Yeah. No, maybe it's once I take my tandem certification instructor, certification, that disconnect will start reconnecting or start connecting. It's just right now, I just like, wow, that's a hell of a responsibility. Do I really want to, take this on? And I think I don't know what I don't know yet. And once I get there and start, understanding what's going on, then we'll
see. And I think a lot of that comes into just time and practice. A lot of people go and not to put anyone down, but they practice the good. They practice good launches over and over. And I know that no one practices a bad landing, but to be prepared to PLF, to mentally have the fortitude to say, this is going to be shitty, but I'm going to take it and deal with it as it comes and not panic. That's the big thing. A lot of people will get into that spot where they know it's going to be bad. And then instead of working it all the way to the ground and making it as least of a problem as possible, even if that means giving up, sometimes just giving up the fight and letting the wing sort itself out is the best thing to do. But that panic mode, and we all do it to some degree, when you get to that point and you go, oh shit, and your brain hits that overload and you go, I don't know what line to pull. I don't know what brake to pull. I don't know to pull all the brakes or none of the brakes. You have that moment of panic, and to get over that hump is just time. It's just simple time. And you've been to Kiwanda. You've seen what we have here in Oregon as far as a training ground. It's one of the safest places that I've ever been, where you can learn to do ground helis, where you can learn to spin your wing and put it in conditions that are bad, and then learn to recover it in a safe manner.
Yeah.
And doing that repetitiously builds that skill, especially as an instructor. Like from my standpoint, I can't go out and try to coach you on how to correct what you're doing wrong if I haven't put myself in these scenarios, if I haven't folded up half the wing and then learned how to correct it. I can't teach you how to put your body in position if I don't know how to do it myself. So a lot of it's just time and experience.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Hey, listen, I actually just got a shot of the time, and I've got to be up early to rewire my motor and then go fly with Kyle. Yeah, I know it's tough.
I thought you had a gas powered motor. What, you don't you have windings now?
No, I've got an electrical issue going on. So
Well, I just got a text message. Mark Honeycutt, Elena, and Tucker are all coming over for breakfast. I got to get going here soon too.
Okay, one question before everyone goes. I want to leave you with this question. What's going to be the next technology for paramotoring? Is it going to be lightweight four-stroke or is it going to be electric?
that's a hard one. Depends on which way the battery technology keeps on going.
Yeah, I think the batteries
I
will
don't
have a
understand.
big part of that.
I don't really understand the question. What does that have to do with videoing?
It doesn't have anything to do with videoing. It has to do with
It's
just,
irrelevant.
it's a general question. What,
It's
how
irrelevant.
is it irrelevant? I mean,
It's
we always ask about the future and what's going on. So two-stroke is
kidding.
obviously not going to be forever.
I'm kidding.
And we're seeing, well, I know you're kidding, but I'm just saying. So we're seeing water-cooled four-stroke paramotors on trikes now. And that intrigues me because that makes me wonder when they're going to bring that technology to foot launch.
You know what? I saw something. We're talking about cooling the motor, right? Because that's the biggest issue, right? That's what's causing a lot of the issues is that they're getting too hot and they're cracking, right?
They're burning
So
up.
Dave, I wonder if you saw this. There was someone over by Tim Gaskins, and I wish Tim was still in here. Hey, Anthony. Anthony was watching. There was someone that was putting it looked like a smaller propeller on the outside of the hub of the bigger propeller. You saw that, Dave?
Yeah.
So what the smaller propeller did is it focused right in onto the head gasket and just cooled off the whole motor. Am I saying that correctly, Dave?
Yeah, that's exactly what it did. So you got your main prop of 125 centimeter. This prop was maybe
50.
This big. Real
Yeah,
small.
it's more like 25 to 35, 40 centimeter. And all it did was scavenge air away from or onto whatever the motor and keep it cool. So
Yeah, Para Noob flies a four-stroke. He flies an EOS.
yeah. All right, guys. Look, I got to go.
Guys,
Cool.
thanks
I gotta
for
get
joining.
This
Thanks
is it's like a lipo battery just hit the end of its life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it happens when you
Guys.
get to be my age. I'm Grizzly Adams / Baywatch got artificial resuscitation from that guy.
Hey, somebody's got to be the stunt man. Somebody has to be the stunt man.
Thanks for giving me nightmares. Now I'm gonna have to relive it. Bye.
Hey, you got your hog gun. Don't worry about it.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight on a Saturday night. We'll see you tomorrow night. We got a great show. See you then, right?
Awesome.
See you.
All right, guys. Have a good night. See you.